Will I ever get the official Professionals intro and play on my channel? Maybe. We'll see. I keep forgetting. But anyway, at least I got the old one, and that's something. And that's, we're old school on this channel anyway. You're watching The Professionals. This is a rotating show where each of the professionals each take a turn hosting every week and picking the category. Now, today was supposed to be the big return of game show night, but we have a couple of absentees, and we didn't want to do it without everybody in the house. Of course, it's Billy Tucci's birthday. Happy birthday, Billy, wherever you are. And so we're just doing, this is like a fill-in issue, if you will, of your favorite series. But we got really good, talented artists and writers to make this better, or at least as good as the ongoing series. So tonight we'll be talking a little bit about our favorite team-ups in comics and some other crap, whatever happens to roll off the tongue. You know how it is around here. But let's bring in the crew and get this show on the road. He's always the first one here and last one to leave. It's Andy Smith. Welcome, Andy.
Hello. If you're on time, you're late. That's what they say. So I
Batman
like to be punctual.
Famously said, Robin, he said, better an hour early than a minute late, old chum. So there you go.
Exactly. Because think about it. You get there an hour early, you're hanging out, whatever. This is Batman now, right? You're hanging out, you're like, whatever. Somebody gets shot, you can save their life. You get there a minute late after they got shot, you're like, maybe I should have been here a little earlier.
Yeah, I think you're right. You got that nailed. Here's somebody who's never on time, but today was early. It's Fragaboom.
Ooh.
Huh? It's not agreeing with
under the bus.
What's this?
No, I agree with your statement,
Okay.
Aaron. I don't agree with Andy's statement.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Well, before you comment on Batman, which you may or may not do, here's one guy who knows Batman inside and out. And I don't mean that in a good way. It's Graham Nolan. There he is.
You come in a little late so you can strut.
So everybody in the room turns.
Yeah. Yo, here I am.
Oh, I see.
And you you yell out at the top of your lungs, W-U-H.
W-U-H.
Whoa!
All right. Is Art going to show up today, or is it just us four?
Yeah. Why did you say two? I think Art's, but I'm pretty sure Art's.
Well, because anytime you go early,
coming in.
Well, so. Yeah, but the thing with Art, I think Art is eating dinner right now. Whenever we do the 4 o'clock, he's never here at 4 because he's always eating or something. He has his
what time is that? 5 o'clock for him, right? No.
Oh, 6.
6.
It's 6 o'clock. Yeah.
Which is prime dinner time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess he'll roll in when he rolls in, but we got the heavy hitters right now. We'll carry the show. We shall carry the show.
That's right.
So let's address the elephant in the room. We were a little bit in the back room. Some people were complaining about last night's Boring Kings that I happened to miss because I was putting my book together, Kit Carter, which is actually at the printers today. Finally. So what was the takeaway from that conversation between Elon and Trump? Anybody got anything?
I'll say I did find it interesting. I don't think it was interesting probably for the chat, but I found it interesting. But in the beginning, Elon kind of, I don't know if he kicked it off or if Trump brought it up, but they talked about him getting shot.
Mm-hmm. Elon
went on for that went on for way too long. And I don't think Elon thought it would go on that long when he brought it up. But that just I was sitting there going, yes, traumatic event. I get it. I'd rather hear more about,
the takeaway was that we didn't hear anything new.
Excuse me.
There was nothing new. I mean, he started with that. He started with his border policy. He started, he went on with the, anti-Harris, which is all stuff, we all know, we have all heard. I didn't hear anything new. I didn't hear any platforms, anything he's going to do differently. It was all just, the stuff he says on the stump,
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's something. Since Kamala is stealing all of his platforms,
his ideas,
and suddenly she won't do them while she's in office, but gosh darn it, she'll talk about it before she, well, she's running for office. That's for sure. So, okay. So today we're going to take a look at some team ups that we enjoyed, either, as adults or kids or whatever, some of your favorite, or it could even be like a weird TV show, like the Thor guest starring on an episode of the Hulk,
Wow.
something like that. So,
What about William Shatner on Battle of the Network Stars? Is that a team up?
if it was like, do you remember there was an episode of SWAT where SWAT and the Rookies, remember that show?
Oh yeah.
They crossed over and it was like an ABC event.
Right.
So it'd have to be something like that, like TJ Hooker.
$6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman.
Yeah.
TJ Hooker.
TJ Hooker and the Fall Guy. That would be like a crossover.
What would you prefer, TJ Prostitute, Andy?
I would prefer TJ Call Girl.
Oh, my bad.
Didn't Batman and the Green Hornet, didn't they have a crossover?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See,
Kinda
there's
funny,
lots of
I
fodder
loved
here.
that as a kid.
That's right, because Robin actually beat up Kato, didn't he?
No, they both of them ended up in a draw.
Okay.
Got it.
Man, I tell you, I've got a trivia question. I was about to throw it out right now, the information. But I'm like, no, this is actually one Dan might be able to get next week. So I'm going to hang on to it and not going to.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you.
The topic?
Yeah, no, it's just a bit of
Like
information. But there's
ice cream flavors.
I got a trivia question surrounding it. So I don't want to give it away now. We'll save it for next week.
What is it?
Give
What
it
are
away,
the
give it
7
away,
colors of
give
the
it away,
rainbow?
yeah.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's a question I set it up so that Art and Dan could actually get some right. So if they just pick the right categories,
just
Really
sit on it for a week
Yeah,
and don't
say it,
tell
'cause
us
Billy's
anything.
probably watching on his phone.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, but throughout the week, you might think of better questions. Something else might
Oh, I
happen.
guarantee I'm not going to think about it at all. I am done.
It's done.
Well, there's also
It's
that.
done.
It is
We've done
It's
the work.
ready to go. It's just going to sit right over here till next week.
What about team ups? Someone said in the chat they thought we were going to talk about favorite team ups of like penciler inker team ups.
You know what, Dan? I'm going to open it way up.
See,
Okay.
I took it to mean like, Spider-Man and Werewolf by Night.
Yeah,
That's actually
same
on
here.
my list. That's what I was doing. But if you want to bring in something like, oh my gosh, Frank Miller and Klaus Janson, best team up ever, you can certainly do that.
It's up there.
Andy, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. Hold on, I'm
Okay,
gonna share
give
my
us
screen.
something. Give us something to talk about.
I'm actually going with the book from DC Comics Presents. For those in the chat that don't know, that was the book DC put out. Always starring Superman.
Andy, before you go on, could you what is the name of that site where you can look at the comics without all the ad shit?
Sure, zipcomic.com, because that's what I'm on right now.
Thank you.
Yep, DC Comics Presents. It was always Superman teaming up with somebody else. I actually have more favorites you brought this up from DC Comics Presents and from like Marvel 2-in-1.
That was a good
Marvel
book.
team up.
That was a good book.
Yeah.
That first issue,
So-
Garcia Lopez, right?
Well, he started it. He did not do the one that I'm going to bring up, but this specific issue, before I present it and share the screen, teamed up, of course, Superman, one of my favorite DC characters, and one of my favorite characters from my childhood. I still have the toy, looking over at it. Go ahead.
Do you want me to bring it up?
Oh, you sure can. Very exciting.
Oh,
Superman.
Man,
I don't remember this at all.
Dude, this book goes for some money.
Really?
who's on
Oh,
the
yeah.
cover? Those are pretty cool figures.
That's Ross Andrew on the cover, inked by Frank Giacoia.
Interesting.
And then the inside is actually George Tuska, inked by Mike DiCarlo, who I assume was just starting out back then in 1982. But Mike was one of those guys that had a definitive like style. Like I could see the inks and go, oh, that looks like Mike DiCarlo.
All right, that's Kurt Swan. That's not who'd you say it was?
I said it was Kurt Swan.
Oh,
I said George Tuska. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
George,
said Tuska.
it's Kurt Swan. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's got your buddy writing it too, Aaron.
Yeah, Paul Kupperberg.
I'll bet it's a classic.
So yeah, Kurt Swan. I'm sorry, inked by Mike DiCarlo. But once again, Mike has a inking style that at least I could always look at in the 80s and go, oh, Mike DiCarlo inked that, It's kind of it's clean, it's kind of crisp in certain areas. Some areas could even be a little Terry Austin-y, you could say. And I just, how I haven't read this in years, how they mashed these two together to meet up. I don't remember. Maybe
this is really unusual to me because did DC grab the license for He-Man? How did they pull this off?
Yeah, DC did a 3-issue limited series, and that, by the way, was drawn by George Tuska.
Okay,
a miniseries.
But this predates that, doesn't it?
This I believe came out first, and then the miniseries, and then after that, Marvel got the license and put it out through their Star Comics line, which was like Heathcliff and Thundercats and all that stuff. And those are worth coin too, and so's the miniseries. But this one, I think this one is worth more than there was like a, they used to do the inserts, DC would, of like a 8-page preview or sometimes even a 16-page preview. And they did that with He-Man. And I want to say it was in an issue of the new Teen Titans.
Hmm.
And I know I have it. I just don't
Kino
remember.
Reviews wants to know, do these books come out before or during this show, the He-Man show, of course he's referring to?
I think they came out during the launch of He-Man. It was all part of because there was an insert with He-Man that appeared in like all the comics that month.
Mm.
Oh, was it in all of them? I thought it was just in one.
I don't think so.
You're talking like okay.
There was like an 8-page insert, and Kurt Swan did it, and I think it was in all the DC comics that month.
Okay,
certainly all the Superman ones.
Kurt did it, but I don't know who inked that one. I want to say Chiramonte, but I don't recall. But I do know, and that's why I got confused. I do know Tuska did the limited series, but
yeah, that's the period Kurt had the worst inkers. Mike Hunt, or Dave Hunt. Chiramonte.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they just butchered him. They
but
line. They didn't understand him.
Yeah.
But what about those? It's either 4 or 5 issues of Superman that Al Williamson inked.
Oh yeah, that was later on. Those were great.
Is that legit for real? Al Williamson and Swan.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Go look up Superman right around 408, and then look into the before and after 408, and he inked like five or so in a row.
You said 408 or 508?
408.
408, and that's the regular Superman or Action?
Superman.
Nope, regular Superman, and those issues are freaking gorgeous. That fine line.
And look at all those word balloons and all those medium-sized shots of these characters. It's so boring.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. This is the first appearance. This is the first appearance of He-Man in comics, and it goes according to the guide. It goes for $250, and the guide is probably more than that. But that's pretty impressive. I didn't know that. And I also, in issue 27 of DC Comics Presents, was the first appearance of Mongol. How about that? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I've got that one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, there's also
I used to buy DC Comics Presents.
Black Adam is in DC Comics. Is it Black Adam? Yeah, I think it's Black Adam returns in an issue of DC Comics Presents, and that's worth something too.
Well, yeah, he was Shazam before that.
Yeah, I know that's what I thought. But for some reason, that one issue of DC Comics Presents he's in, they make a big deal out of it.
Maybe they changed his origin or something.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. It's funny. I actually don't own it, but then there's 2 issues where Shazam is in it with Superman, and it's funny.
Shazam.
I mean Captain Marvel. Hey man, just going by what it says on the cover.
Clean it up.
Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, drawn by Aaron's favorite, Rich Buckler, in his Neil Adams face.
Shit.
When I was a kid, I loved Rich Buckler. I didn't realize what a hack he was till I got older. But
So anyhow, yeah, I mean, this is the issue of this I have is the one that I bought as a kid. And it was just this team up of these two characters I just loved. And I was like, holy crap.
Look at that. Look at the last panel and the second to last panel. It's the same damn pose.
I know.
Same size.
It's just, well, just look at the bad cropping of Superman over top of He-Man's head in that last panel.
Oh yeah.
You got all that room up there.
Like a
I mean,
Tarantino movie.
yeah. You could have still overlapped something just to show like He-Man's in front of him with some overlap, but not
maybe
like
bring
that.
He-Man up in front, like maybe just a 3/4 shot to have Superman in the background, so you get a little sense of depth too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, Graham, you nailed it too. Since we're going through it, the last three panels, full figure of what Battle Cat in all three panels. It's like, dude, you've already established he's riding him in a full figure. Pull that camera in some.
Oh, tell you. See,
I know.
Isn't it's interesting how guys from the past, as they got older, they got less creative in their work.
Yeah.
And guys like us, as we get older, we're getting more creative and more expansive. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know what's
Well,
funny?
you know what?
Dan's
That's a great
Go ahead.
statement, Aaron. But I think the reality is that those guys were working for shit page rates,
True.
just to keep the lights on with no royalties.
Yeah.
And now we
Hey, there's
can
art.
reach out to our backers and everything, and to our fan bases, and we don't have to do that. We can create our own world, our own.
That's a good point. They didn't even get their
financial
originals
freedom.
back at this point, were they? Getting their originals back at this point. So
At
What
this
year
point
is it?
they were. Yeah, they
What year
were.
was
This
it?
is the 80s.
okay.
This is
like-
80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
right.
by the way, Graham, check it out. Watch for the special Masters of the Universe free insert coming soon. So I'm going to try and find that while we go
Oh, there it
around.
is. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
in
I'll try to
Superman
find it.
comics and Action Comics. I know because I have some books with that.
Okay.
I think when Graham and I got into the business, they had just offered the art returns and royalty programs. Just the generation before that kind of fought. So I think we were the first guys that didn't have to fight for it, that got to partake in those programs and stuff. So thanks to everybody that came before us that fought for those art returns and for those royalties and stuff like that, because as little as we made, it could have been a lot worse, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. Past Master Dan wants to know, did Andy get my message about wearing the underwear on the outside? I don't know what that's involved, or maybe I don't know.
I don't know. By the way, this is 1982. So
okay.
Yep, that checks out.
Senior in high school. Stealth X5 for $2 says hello to everybody. Thank you, Stealth X5. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for joining.
I was at the Kubert School when that came out, because I remember when the insert issue came out, I was there. So that was that same month or the next month.
I wasn't even in high school yet.
Marcus Killergoo says Swan quit comics for a year and did real estate. He was so tired of comics.
What year was that, Marcus?
Yeah, give us the year, Marcus.
I mean, there was no big break in his work on Superman.
Well, when I got in the business, it's like Kurt Swan was nowhere really to be found. So he was pretty much
unless it was.
Well, it could have been after Byrne displaced him.
That's what I was going to say. It could have been after that. Sure.
Real estate.
When was that? Like that Man of Steel and all that other stuff?
It was 86, wasn't it?
86, yeah.
Yeah, 86.
Didn't Swan do that last Superman story by Alan Moore?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That was like around that time.
That was
George
the
Perez
Swan
him,
song,
right?
if you pardon the
That's what led up to Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Was that
it was the closure of the old continuity.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, right? George Perez inked him, right? Inked Kurt Swan on that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he inked part of it. He inked part of it. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay, because that was a weird combo. I was like, these two styles don't even, come close. But I thought George did a good job.
When they were going to redo Superman the first time in the early 1970s, where they did the Kryptonite No More storyline and the Sand Dude and all that kind of shit, and Murphy Anderson came in to ink them. that was the period that Swan asked Joe Kubert what I can do to punch up my artwork. And if you look at those issues, you can really see that Swan was on his A game. You know, he was really trying to do things differently, move the camera out, you know, big close-ups, big figures, all that kind of stuff. And you could see the Kubert influence in there. But eventually, you know, that stuff went by the wayside as it became more rote again, and then the work just kind of became somewhat pedestrian.
Well,
and
also, if you're working with Alan Moore, he's not going to give you big moments. You know, it's going to be very heady stuff.
Well, that's many years later. You know.
Oh, years later. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about early 1970s, and Alan Moore didn't write that stuff till the 80s.
Henry Bemis from Oregon says my favorite team up is Art Taber and Lou Ferrigno.
Hey, that's mine.
Well, that was a good one, Andy. Dan, what have you got? Which direction do you want to go with this?
I'm going to go with Marvel team up, and also not only just the team up itself, but thematically these issues, and this particular issue I enjoyed because it was a combination that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I do. If you want to bring it up.
Bring it up.
All right. None other than Marvel Team Up during the John Byrne era. This is when Claremont was writing, and but this is Al Gordon on inks.
How about that?
There was something really dimensional about this. I think there was some Dave Hunt before on inks, and you know that was cool. But there were two standout issues. There was this one. And the next one I'll show real quick. So, but this had just a lot of really solid moments. I remember some green Spider-Man fighting some green thing.
Hey, early Byrne was great. I loved.
Oh yeah. I mean, and this Man of Steel.
I think it had to be inked properly, though.
Yeah, and so, but the other one that I really love is number 75. Which are not 75, 79, featuring Red Sonja.
Oh yeah, Terry Austin.
And it's inks by Terry Austin. So this is your X-Men team. You got Terry Austin.
Is this pre-X-Men?
Yes. Yeah.
79.
So this is pre-X-Men, but you have Claremont, Byrne, Austin, Orzechowski, and Glennis Wein. So you basically have the X-Men team doing a Spider-Man issue.
I wonder. Go back. I wonder how they did that sky. Did you see that sky?
Yeah.
That's
zip.
Zipatone
with some whiteout or something.
Yeah.
So it is Zipatone with black.
Yeah.
No,
so
I would
if you look at it,
he laid
look at it,
it's black on top of it.
Well, it's black, and then he did a fade zip from dark gray down to the.
Yeah,
I see it.
See that? It's like to here. Really,
you know, was
it
neat about Zipatone in the bad printing days, like the newsprint days, is because Zipatone kind of took on like this magic approach. Like you didn't know if it was a printing effect or if it was like actually put down on the board.
Right.
You couldn't really tell because the quality of the printing wasn't quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we tried. Really good stuff, but there are some just fantastic pages in here. This panel I was talking about where Spider-Man's all grabbed up by this green goo monster thing. I always thought it was just so dimensional.
Cool. I like the Ditko style.
This here. Yeah, real nice. But and look at those monsters. Like they feel heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get this. I mean, 1979. This is some nice cakery.
Go back to that for a second. Look at the eyes. It looks like he's like doing a little Thorn tribute there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, he's doing a Frank.
I'll zoom in on that. Yeah, you could see that in there.
The hair and the eyes, and the lips, the way he did the lips, it looks like he's doing Frank Thorne. Like
you gotta love Terry because he went in and I've seen Burns pencils. They're great and they're super tight, but Terry just adds this extra slick. I don't know how to explain it, but it's wonderful stuff. Some more. I mean, not an easy shot to pull off. People,
go back to that Aquaman for a second. That close.
This here.
Back where
Oh,
we had
that's cool.
Aquaman. Keep going.
That third.
You want me to go forward or?
Yeah, there's one more. There was a shot of his
one?
right there. Yeah, look at that
right there.
gnarly old face right there.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Good stuff. But yeah, this is probably my favorite issue and one of the harder ones to get. And they, I think in some of the team ups that they're not reprinted because of the Red Sonja aspect of it.
That's interesting.
Very Neil Adams right here.
Yeah,
Dude, that's 100% why they're not reprinted, because it's Red
it's
Sonja,
Claremont.
Yeah,
this is
it's
Claremont.
Claremont,
But again, this Ditko effect.
Yeah.
So cool, you know. I mean, this is top tier work by top tier guys before their big thing that everybody knows them for, the X-Men. But that was their first sort of smash up. So that's my vote for favorite team up is Marvel Team Up by John Byrne.
I like that. That was a good one.
that's
Alrighty, Graham. Let me know when to bring your screen up, and
You can bring my screen up. I had mentioned this ahead of time.
okay.
That I love this because, again, everybody knows I was a monster kid, and you know, I remember when this one came out, that great Gil Kane cover. Look at that, so beautiful.
I'm surprised that they like I remember they didn't like seeing the back of characters, like main characters.
Right.
So I'm surprised that one got away without at least no eye at all, you know?
Yeah, there's a couple team ups where Spider-Man's in the foreground. You just get the back of his head, even during the Byrne run. But I along the lines of Graham's saying, I was like, I saw this and I was like, he's teaming up with Werewolf by Night. How is that going to work? You know, I just had to pick it up. I mean, and I read Werewolf by Night, so I loved the book.
And what I liked about this too is that Jerry Conway did the plot. Len Wein was a scripter. And Jerry was the writer on Amazing Spider-Man at the time. And and I'm not sure if Len was the editor at that point. But Ross Andrew was drawing Spider-Man and Don Perlin was drawing Werewolf by Night. So you got
cool.
all the teams together. And so, but you've got, you know, Ross Andrews a better artist than Don Perlin was. But Perlin was a good inker, you know, his penciling, not so much. But I just love, look at this. Look at the sense of depth here in that last panel, you know?
Yeah.
I love the color on the first one of the third row.
Well, no, you're right. This is ingenious because it's like you make the Spider-Man readers feel like, oh my gosh, I got to get this because it looks just like a regular issue of Spider-Man with the team and everything.
And
but
it looks better than Werewolf by Night team. Look at that shot right there. That's great.
Oh yeah. Is this the only issue of Team Up that Ross drew? I never even knew he did.
No. My what may be my next one as Ross also.
Oh, okay. Well, hold it. Don't spoil it now.
I won't.
That's awesome. I didn't even know about this one.
I want to get $1 million free cash. Did you see that ad back there?
I did.
Yeah, free cash.
So do I.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to pay anything for it. It's absolutely.
Man, when Peter Parker looked like Peter Parker, no matter who drew him, you know?
Exactly. I loved how they stayed on model back then. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one, man. I haven't looked at this.
Look at those figures, dude. That last panel is so great. That arm coming back.
And Ross Andrews' sense of perspective is always so great.
Yeah.
You know, he could really give you a good sense of dimension and depth.
Now I want to read this.
I know. So do I. I haven't seen this I don't think I've read this since I was a kid. Go back.
Well, Aaron, you're going to have to go crack your slab if you want to read it.
Yeah, actually, I don't have that.
Too. Ross Andrew doing Doc Savage.
I have all those. Those are great.
I got that.
I love that.
Yeah. In fact, the cover for that one, I was at Tom Palmer's studio one time and he had his flat files and he opened it up and right on the top was the Gil Kane Tom Palmer cover for that.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So you got to see it. Wow.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I joked with Tom. I said, you know, if this is missing when I leave, you know, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's right.
Marcus Kilgore says Andrew Ross and Ross drew the
Oh, look at that
Andrew drew the
third
first
panel.
issue of Marvel Team Up,
I didn't know that.
which I have, but it's slabbed, so I wouldn't know.
Who
he
did he
did
team up
quite
with
a
in that
few.
first issue? Who did he team up with in the first issue? Do you recall?
Human Torch.
Human Torch.
Right.
First 2 issues were Human Torch.
Yeah, because the Human Torch and Spider-Man were going to be alternated each month.
Ah.
Right.
They
And then
did
Ross Andrew drew the Superman Spider-Man with the Neil Adams tune-ups, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Well, you can also attribute John Romita Sr. to some of the Spider-Man faces, isn't that right?
I
Yeah.
bet. I mean, I
Yeah.
would imagine, especially in those day and times, kind of like the consideration you have here, you said with Conway and Perlin, and these teams coming together and it meaning something. That Superman, Spider-Man, when you got Ross Andrew and you got Romita and you got Giordano and you got Neil Adams, it seems like the thing matters. You know what I mean? Like it's not just thrown together. It's put together with consideration.
Yeah.
I never realized. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't realize that Ross Andrew had actually drawn Superman. But you could look back on it; it makes perfect sense to have him draw the Superman Spider-Man team up because he's the one guy that worked on both comics.
Both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, but he didn't really do guts to Superman. He just did a shit ton of covers, which were great.
He did guts. He did guts.
Did he really?
Yeah,
For
he
the
did
main
that,
Superman
the
book?
classic, LL one, where the Lana Lang and Lois Lane, the 2 L's. It's got a Neil Adams cover, and the L's are burning in the background.
Did he
Well, I
really?
got that issue?
Oh, I
In
didn't
New
know
York, by
that.
the way.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I gotta find that.
Yeah, that's great Neil Adams cover. Yeah.
Yeah, he did quite a few interiors at that point. Maybe that's when Kurt Swan was selling real estate.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know that. Every time I'm at a con and I'm just looking through boxes and it's a Superman, and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool looking cover. Let me look inside. It's always Kurt, which isn't bad, but I've never. Okay, I'll have to look for that one.
Well, it is interesting. They did do Human Torch got team ups like 3 or 4, but just occasionally it would be Human Torch and somebody else.
I never found him to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it was cool to have him and Peter team up because of the sort of teenage, you know, nerd and cool guy. But like Torch, there's no reason for me to want to follow any of his adventures.
Well, he was the rock star in the 60s, though, because that's all they did in Strange Tales when Human Torch was in there was team him up.
Really?
It was practically Marvel team up before.
Well, it was Thor. It was a Torch and Thing.
See, Thing, I know.
That's true. They brought the Thing in a lot to help. Yeah, that's true.
Like Marvel
Thing had his own team up book. It was the Marvel 2-in-1, right?
Yeah. That was a lot of Ron Wilson, I think.
Yeah. Ron Wilson is one of those guys that's underrated.
Heck yeah.
You know how many covers he did that are attributed to Romita? Because Romita inked them, but the designs are Ron Wilson.
Really?
I had no idea.
Tons.
That's amazing.
I didn't know that either.
It's funny how often Romita's, especially in the 70s, his inks showed up on covers. Marvel. And you were like, oh, that looks like a Romita cover. But now we know it's really Ron Wilson, inked by Romita.
That must have been great working in the office there and just like seeing work come through and go, you know what? I'm going to ink that and just grab it up. Just go over in your little section, you know, start inking it up. I mean, shit, you have the cream of the crop, right? You just grab things.
Yeah.
You didn't have to ask. You just
because nobody cared as long as it was turned in on time.
Exactly. And as long as you were on the level of like a Johnny Romita Jr., Johnny Romita, then they wouldn't give you a hard time about that. They go, yeah, go do it. We don't care.
Well, this is an excellent choice. There was actually a couple of monsters. There was a good Ghost Rider team up. There was Morbius, the Living Vampire, I think was the 3rd issue team up. So they would throw Spider-Man, Man-Thing a couple of times. So he got a monster every once in a while, but this was a great one.
Marvel team up was sort of strange, right? Like with some of them, you get like Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Captain
Britain.
Yeah, old
Hold on.
Captain Britain.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
original.
here I'll pull up.
British version.
If we're gonna talk about them. You guys tell me where to go, and I'll go there. Let me find Brave tab. Boom. Here
Well,
we
you can
go.
take mine down and go to art now.
Yeah, well, Frag. Well, wait a minute. Fraga's got some covers.
Yeah,
here.
I'm saying you could pick anyone you want if we're gonna talk about Marvel.
I
Team
have
Up,
all of those. Like that was my book. Marvel Team Up was my book.
Well, do you
I
have
did-
a favorite?
I didn't like the Spider-Man book itself, like, adventures and all that. But I did like Spider-Man in 2-in-1, probably because it didn't have the Peter Parker drama. It was just like pure,
Yeah,
Spider-Man,
Action.
doing action.
I like that cover. Go back up the Human Torch and Doctor Strange one. I don't know why. I love that cover though. Scroll back up a little bit, Dan.
Doctor Strange, where?
You're not moving. Is Dan frozen or is this screen?
Yeah, he's frozen.
He's frozen in time.
He's frozen. I do
He's a
remember
man
the Marvel
frozen in
team up
time.
that kind of disappointed was Spider-Man teaming up with the X-Men. I expected so much more. I was like, this is kind of a letdown.
Are you
Yeah,
talking about like the big giant size one, or are you talking about?
No, it was
the
just
later?
one of the it was just one of the Marvel team ups, and it was on a rooftop, and there's like some of the X-Men characters and Spider-Man's in the foreground, and I don't know. I mean, you have expectations as a kid. And you're like 22 pages. Looking at it as a creative person, it's like, how could you tell that story in 22 pages? You got all these X-Men characters. You got Spider-Man. Like, how the hell are you even going to do that? That's pretty tough.
In a lot of ways that would be a challenge. I mean, the good thing about it was you weren't necessarily you didn't have to do a ton of characterization because all these characters were already established. You could just kind of go with them and make it more about the story than about the characters. But still, that's a lot of stuff to cram in a 22-page comic for sure.
I do remember my favorite was the John Byrne. I think it was 3 issues, and it was the Hulk, Spider-Man, the Hulk, and a character named Wood God.
Yeah.
Wood God.
Yeah, dude, Wood God.
He looked like a little goat boy.
Yeah, like a goat dude. Yeah, but he was super strong. He was
Right.
like super strong.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I was like, man, that's really badass. And it felt like one of those stories that just kept giving you more.
Mhm.
Like they would do this, and you go, yeah, and then there would be the cliffhanger, and then there'd be more, and then more. And I think it was 3 issues worth of story, but each one of the issues teamed up with a different character, but it kind of crossed over.
Right.
So all of those characters were in all of the stories, but not necessarily featured. So if it was Spider-Man the Hulk, it mostly featured them, and then Spider-Man the Wood God would continue, and maybe Hulk would be in a little bit, but not be the main character. I think there was a 3rd character, but I can't remember, or there was a 3rd book. I know for sure.
Dan, do you have those covers still handy?
Yeah, I'll pull them up. Give me a second.
Pull them up and let's take a look and see it, because I think Art's right. I think there was 3 issues in that, because I remember reading that too, and I was
I remember
surprised.
that too. I remember the
Right.
inks being pretty bad.
The inks were bad, really.
I think. Yeah.
Was it-
Well, I mean, it was.
What number? What number was it? Burn?
It was around
you said?
50. It was around 50,
Yeah, because
51.
the
49.
Burn stuff started around 53.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Well, that's
maybe.
that's
Oh,
there
that's
it is.
that's
Yeah,
one
right
of them,
there.
I think.
So Hulk,
Is that it? No.
Yeah, click on that one.
That's
looks
it right there. That's the first one.
the Wood God's in this though. You could see him.
Okay, that must be it then.
Yeah, see him all fucking goatee and shit.
Yeah, I
good.
think,
Cover.
hang on a second. I think the previous issue, if you think back to the previous issue, the Wood God showed up at the last couple pages, and Spider-Man was in trouble, and then the Hulk showed up at the beginning of the next one. Yeah, like this one, I think the Wood God shows up at the end of this.
All right.
At the
so
end,
you-
yeah,
you
because I do
some,
remember when the Wood
it's
God
the,
shows up, you're just like, who the hell is this guy? This guy looks weird.
Cap and Batroc.
Hell is this guy?
No,
Yeah,
it
my
just
comic.
says
Where is
Hulk
it?
and Wood God.
No.
Nah,
Where?
it says see you in
Yeah,
30
the next-
days.
next issue.
Lucky.
Okay.
I love
I
you.
thought
So was that the first
See, I
one? that
didn't like
Burn
these
worked on?
issues.
you didn't like who?
I didn't like those issues. Like it's just pedestrian artwork that Sal Buscema was doing. It's like
Yeah.
it was just okay. I mean,
Wait a minute, who did this? Is
This
this
is
Sal?
Burns.
This is
This is
Burns.
Burns.
This is Burns. I was saying, this looks better.
Yeah,
than
This
Sal.
is his first team up, but you got Giacoia, I think, is on it.
Oh well, Giacoia
yeah.
makes everybody look great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I think Dan,
Archie.
look at that though. This was
That's the first time
another.
Burns through the X-Men.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
Look at that.
Imagine
yeah.
what that
Cool.
spread would go for.
Oh,
Man.
jeez.
A lot. Look at how cool Jean Grey is with her arm up on the side, just like
Yeah,
She's
just chilling.
It's another
She's in a
day.
convertible. She's like, well, my hair.
It's another day flying through the air.
Who's that guy that looks like Namer back there? Is that Wyatt Wingfoot or something?
That's
No,
Colossus.
No, it's
Colossus.
Colossus.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is
yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
see,
Colossus.
now since
Up.
we're talking about you know, they're in the air. We don't know how fast that thing's going. It's going at least 100-something miles an hour, right? Spider-Man's just on the front of it, like no problem.
Hey, man, he's got the.
Well, I mean,
Well,
he's got
super
spider strength and he can stick to things. So
Yeah,
I know. I know.
Come on, Andy,
I
quit
just love
spoiling our fun.
Wait a
Andy,
minute.
I
you-
love it.
You
Spider-Man number
compliment.
one, he was helping a space capsule land. So
Right, yeah, and you compliment Jean Grey's confidence, but doubt Spidey's. Jesus.
Hey, now, Graham, I got a question for you. Stay on this page real quick, Dan.
Yeah.
I was watching Bosch put up a video about Spider-Man a few days ago. He posted the link in one of the rooms.
Bermudas, yeah.
Yeah, and I never knew this. So you tell me if you've heard this before. So look at Spider-Man's mask,
Yeah.
right, in that last panel. And
Yeah.
the second line down from his eyes, or the first line down from his eyes, is basically lining up with his nose. And then the line below that should
His mouth.
technically be lining up with where his mouth is.
Right. Yes.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yes.
I've
I never heard that
I got
before.
lectured in the Marvel offices about how to draw
What?
Spider-Man. Yeah.
That's new.
Well, you
to
know what?
me.
The other thing that Romita did, like Ditko had the webbing the same. You know, it was always concentrically going, you know, from in a parabolic arc up, right?
Right.
What Romita did was he used the cylindrical perspective. Let's say like Spider-Man's leg is going down, he would have it scallop the other way so that you could get those curves.
Push it away.
Even if his other foot was facing towards you and had to do it the other way. Yeah, he would make the webbing adjust to the perspective of the form.
I
The
have
only
no
thing that
idea.
Yeah,
stayed
that's
the
another
same
thing
was
he
the face
said.
mask and the cylinders on the chest.
I totally agree with that because Spider-Man gets wonky with that webbing if depending on what the perspective is, and it looks bad if you don't do it
Yeah,
in line with the way the figure is going into perspective. So
yeah, that's something.
Do you remember as a kid when you'd first start drawing Spider-Man and you couldn't get that webbing right, and then there was
Yes.
that one breakthrough moment, and you're like, "Yes, I got it!" You know, and it's just like what Graham was saying.
Well,
the perspective when you start realizing it's three-dimensional, like everything's three-dimensional, and it kind of wraps and it kind of goes off in deep space.
Yeah, it wraps the form. Yeah.
Right, it wraps the form and all that stuff. And when you're a kid, you're like, "Yes, I mastered it."
I'm a genius.
Well,
Yes, I figured it out.
like Aaron said, he got schooled on it, and I never heard that before until that video about the lines on his mask. And I was like,
line
"Damn,
lines
right."
up with the nose, and the third line matches
It's
the mouth. But
Yeah.
what do you do? Like McFarlane had like double the numbers.
well, it doesn't matter at that point.
he just
Yeah,
did whatever he wanted.
Hey, Aaron, I have to ask you, who's the guy that schooled you on the Spider-Man's webbing?
It was Jim Salicrup because he was funny, and he was in charge. He was there when McFarlane took over, but
Yeah,
it was like,
he gave Todd the gig.
and he also told me that Mary Jane is supposed to have 2 dimples and a cleft in her chin.
Ah,
If I didn't
The
draw it,
trifecta.
that
I
way.
knew that.
it's
That
the
makes sense.
trifecta. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Evil One Chris for $5 says my favorite team up is Cable Ghost Rider, but it was in Marvel Comics Presents. A few great team ups were in Marvel Comics Presents. And where's Billy? It's Billy's birthday.
Billy's
He's not
birthday today.
celebrating with his family,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so we're
Not
going.
his
without him.
family.
It's not even a good
Not his
number.
family or his
Yeah.
neighbors.
Family.
family, not his family.
Friends.
Family, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Hey,
well,
Dan, if you've got the all the team ups up?
Yeah.
Do number 15.
15, you got it.
Is that Kazar? There's that. Wait a second. There's the Human Torch Doctor Strange one. We just missed it. We'll see it eventually. Ooh,
Yeah, Gil Kane did a ton of. Oh yeah,
This was the other one I was gonna do with, but I've got something better. But
we can just go all around, man.
yeah, this episode, this issue is so great. Look at it. It's
look
Ross
at Mary
Andrew and
Jane and her
Ron Rudy.
platform.
Oh,
Look
they're
at
back.
that.
Yeah.
Baby.
Excellent. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm looking at me.
I know that's crazy. Look at that Spider-Man balloon. That's funny.
I actually I drew that cover when I was a kid. I was so inspired. I still have it actually. My mom kept it, so I have it.
That is not an easy angle to cover and make work. And he freaking kills it. I mean, look at that. The train is barreling down on him. This dude with a flaming head on a motorcycle is going to pick him up. It's like, oh my God. When I was a kid, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that Spider-Man pose, you really believe the Spider-Man's out of it. Like he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gil's cover designs were just so good.
So good. So good. And there's a great villain. And this dude called the Orb. Is the bad
giant eye, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's like a giant eye, but until he takes his helmet off. And then
there he is.
Yeah, he's all blistered up.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that dude.
God, you're bringing back good times. This is a great issue.
He's got Santa Claus boots on, though.
Yeah, look at that.
Captain America, his Buccaneer boots.
That's right. The insides are white, though. So when he turned them
The
down.
Orb. I am the Orb.
Dimples, 2 dimples in a cleft.
There it is.
Yep.
Little cutie pie.
That's a great.
That's a nice shot.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, back in these days, that's what would run through your head when you'd see Spider-Man in action, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I always thought the Ghost Rider at this point in his career was really cool. Just cool looking with the leather and riding the motorcycle with that flaming
This
skull.
is the Orb without his hat.
Yeah,
on?
look at wait, go back one page.
Yeah, put the helmet back on.
Yeah, wait, go back one page. Look at it. This is what happens to
This one.
forward.
Right there.
Right there. This is what happened to his face. He took a fall off his motorcycle at 100 miles an hour, and then he just like pizzaed his face on the asphalt.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Hey,
me now.
that happened to me, but the result was not that.
Well, it's
Happened to Mark Hamill. It was pretty similar to that.
That's right.
Yeah, and it fucked his head up too.
Totally jacked his
apparently.
brain up.
God, this is a great issue.
Yeah.
And of course it was like right at the height of like Evil Knievel mania.
Look at this guy's
Right.
face.
Spider-Man's got it all under control. Look at Spider-Man on the motorcycle.
Well, Peter Parker had a motorcycle.
That's right. He did.
Remember?
He was a groovy college student, man. With his
He'd go to the coffee bean on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's cheaper than a car.
Yeah, nobody has cars in New York City, you know. So
Where did the Orb get the laser gun? That's what I want to know. And then Ghost Rider just shoots shit out of his hands.
it's like Hellfire or something.
Yeah.
That was the end of that episode.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which one were you talking about, Aaron? Something about
Scroll down.
what number?
Keep going. I don't know. Oh, hang on a second. Wait. 27. That's a Starlin cover right there.
Number
27.
27.
That's Spider-Man and the Hulk.
Oh, yeah, it is. Let's see who did the guts.
Oh. I mean, I like the Hulk, but that Spidey, the head's really why? You're a very scary little girl.
Yeah, he's a little chunky.
But it was different, you know. It's like that's what made these guys. Even if we could sit there and go, "Oh, it's not that great now," but when you're a kid and you see that, and it looks so different than when anybody else is drawing, you immediately want to check it out.
Is this Starlin who did it?
No, it's a special kind of pencil. That's a Starlin. Starlin did the cover. I'm not sure who did the guts. Oh, Mooney.
Jim Mooney.
Mooney.
Yeah.
Mooney did a lot of those.
Chameleon.
I was
like
never a big Jim Mooney guy. Even though that Hulk's not that bad now that I say that.
That's cool.
I actually do like the way he draws the Hulk, even though I just said I was never a big Jim Mooney fan.
Yeah.
No, I like the
interesting.
Spider-Man stuff. Didn't he draw Supergirl for a long time?
I'm on a stream, baby.
I think
I know.
so.
Where's Graham when you need him?
It seems familiar, yeah, but it was
I'm
not
right here.
It was
Did
not.
Jim Mooney draw Supergirl?
Jim Mooney, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But she was not pretty.
Oh, I remember this
Watch
issue.
your
This is the
mouth.
Starlin cover issue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jim Mooney did the interiors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, I do like it.
Hates Jim Mooney.
No, I was never a big fan of Jim Mooney's penciling
What?
stuff, but I like this
This is
issue. I
not
like
Jim
the way-
Mooney inks.
No, it's I think it's Giacoya.
I think
isn't
it's
it?
Giacoya also.
Yeah, I remember this. I had just moved to Florida when I bought this. It's one of the first comics I bought at a 7-Eleven in Florida.
I like the way he does the Hulk. It's kind of Herb Trimpe in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good.
All right. I've got a ton. Dan, I'm going to take you off, Dan, but keep that cover thing up because I'm sure we're going to be coming back to it very soon.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Go ahead.
Well, that one cover that was Spider-Man and Brother Voodoo, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
At
That's a good one.
Thrifty, like I remember seeing that on the rack. And I'm like, I gotta have that.
Okay, guys. Time Machine. Let's go back to, I think, about 1968 for this one.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
dude.
this cover, every time I saw it, I mean, look at that.
I know.
I
Kirby,
know.
it's so weird because Kirby had nothing to do with Daredevil in this run. And then he just jumps in for this Cap cover. And Gene Colan did the inside.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
bet
okay.
you there was
That
a.
runs on both these books.
I'll bet you Gene did a cover that was rejected, and
You
then
think
they
so?
had
And
Jack
Kirby
come
came
in
in at the
and
last second?
bang this out. Yeah.
This
You
is
know
a
what's really
freaking
weird about
stellar.
this is like I'm getting like really like Frank Miller. You know, how, like Frank draws now, like
Yes.
with all, like this looks like it could be a Frank if it was inked like horribly. This could be like a
Oh, I can kind of see that with the perspective and stuff when Cap's arm
Yeah.
and hand coming at us.
Yeah.
On the leg too.
Yeah.
The leg is weird because it's
No,
going, it's going away, but towards us as
well,
well.
both of those legs are kind of odd. Yeah.
But
This-
it's
everything's
awesome.
odd about this
It's so
drawing.
kinetic. It's so kinetic though. It's
Everything's
moving.
about this
Yeah,
drawing.
everything's odd about this.
It's
drawing.
moving a million miles an hour.
Hey,
It's so good.
This is a fairly collectible book. I happen to have one in near mint, of course.
Yeah.
But
You
You know,
break
I'll
the
tell
track.
you, I think an art director got in the way here because that Captain America head is angled really weird.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like it wants to be more straight up and down, but it's kind of
You know-
bent and awkward.
You know what? I'll bet they cut it and moved it down so it didn't cover up too much of the logo.
The logo, yeah.
Yeah.
So Henry in the chat says this was a redo over Gene Colan rejected cover.
Yeah.
Okay, there
What I
you go.
say?
Look at that. Graham knows stuff even when he's not sure. He still knows stuff.
Yeah.
Here's
I
here's an
feel it.
interior. Here's an interior from this issue.
You know, you could just go to Zip Comic, Aaron. and
Yeah, I
find
know.
it
Well,
real
you
easy.
could. You're more able-bodied than I am for that kind of
Do
stuff.
everything for you.
I know.
Hey, Andy, go to Zip right now and get the Superman Spider-Man crossover because I got a couple lame images, but I'm sure you'll get some better stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
that's
I
my
get it.
choice.
You're talking the Ross Andrew one, right?
Yeah, the Ross and the good one, yeah, with Neil and Terry Austin and
Dick
Did you
Giordano.
guys? Did you guys like Gene Colan's Captain America? It was odd, but
I
did.
did.
like it.
I
didn't-
liked the way he drew it, but the stories were horrible. It was his peace and love era. Cap
Well,
stories.
there was some Cosmic Cube in there too with the red skull.
Yeah, yeah. Just after the
oh,
story
that was
and
good. The one with the cosmic cube on the cover with the red skull. Is that a Gene Colan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
Well,
took
Buscema-
over right after those
Buscema-
Franco issues.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you what, Joe Sennett
Romita
did a
took
great.
over
I thought
after-
Well,
Romita,
one at a
Romita
time.
took o-
Go ahead,
Romita
Graham.
took over 114. Okay, that was John Romita.
Right.
115 was the Cosmic Cube, which shows up at the end of 114, and that one was done by John Buscema.
That's right.
And then 116, I think, is when Colin took over.
Okay, you're right, because he was there for the Falcons' first appearance, and then
Yeah.
that whole Red Skull thing wrapped up in like 118 or 119, I think.
God, I love that stuff. I
Yeah.
love the introduction to the Falcon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I was like, every one of the black characters has black in front of their name. It's like, why isn't he the Black Falcon? Shouldn't he be the Black Falcon?
And then Art comes along, creates black and white, and there's no black guy in it.
I
There's
know.
no black guy.
I know.
Go figure. Go figure.
Art's like, I'm bucking this trend. F that.
Well, wait a minute. What if Reed Blackett he was a black guy? His name was Reed Blackett.
Blackett. Yeah, there you go. It's a little too on the money. Like,
Yeah, I think so. A little bit too much right.
Sort of like
Andy,
Black
did you
Lightning.
have something that you pulled up?
Yeah, then I'll find that one for Art. Art, I think in Black and White Volume 3, there should be a panel where he's painting whiteface on, so he actually is a black guy.
it's kind of like the reverse of like how Jack Nicholson did it in the first Batman movie, where
That's
he was
right.
actually putting skin color over the white.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That was
yeah.
really cool how he wiped it. Yeah. That was
That's
the one
right.
cool scene in that movie. Oh well.
Hey,
All right,
how
this
dare
is-
you? That
this-
whole movie was good.
This is the team up America needed at the
Okay.
time.
There it is.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that was
I don't
good.
even need to show the cover.
This
You
is
know
one
what
of
it
those
is.
books that it's like there's so much effort put into it, and it's such a kind of a ridiculous idea.
It
Oh,
is,
yeah.
but it looks so good.
It
I
does.
know. It's like it's undeniable. Like this is one of those examples you can have a really lame idea, but just execute it to the best of
Look
the
at that
best.
double-page spread of the city.
It's so good, dude.
Yeah.
This is
I know.
this is
All
one
the
of the
different
best drawn
perspectives.
one of the best drawn comics of all time.
Yeah, it really is. But it's also one
Terry
of the worst
Austin
stories ever.
Austin inked the backgrounds. I didn't realize that
Yes,
until I
he-
was working in the business.
Yeah, Giordano's assistant for a while, right?
I think his name is all over the place too. Doesn't he sign his name in the background?
Oh, does he? Oh, I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
The same
yeah.
as Superman and Spider-Man. Terry did the backgrounds for that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
right.
Gary,
Giordano did all the figures.
I think Gary Martin was. I got to remember now. Gary was assisting Terry Austin, and I think he worked on some of that Superman, Batman thing, or maybe it was this. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Well, this was
what I
just-
hated about this whole story was that they had to make Superman less cool than Muhammad Ali because he's a real person.
Right.
Right.
So when he gets his ass kicked, it just seems I don't see that ever happening.
I never bought it. I never bought it, not even as a kid. I
No.
thought the artwork was great. Everything was amazing, but I
Yeah.
never bought the premise of like, yeah, those two fight each other.
Well, I
You know what,
remember.
Bob-
I remember when this came out when I was a kid, but I picked up. I don't think I read it until maybe I did when I was a kid, but I picked up a copy of this at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, I don't know, it was early on in Shelley and I's marriage. So I probably 25 years ago. And I remember sitting in the Hyatt in the lobby because we stayed an extra day after, so we didn't have to rush to leave. And I was sitting in the lobby reading this. And I was just going, the artwork, I was just going, God, this is so good.
But that wasn't the first time you saw it, though.
No, but it was the first time I actually
No.
sat down and really went through it.
That's
Yeah.
a great panel there. Look at
Yeah.
Superman tearing
Oh,
his
yeah.
shirt off and the color on it, and
Mm-hmm.
not too many shadows on the shirt. So like the bicep really pops. So great.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Bob Layton, I'm trying to remember Bob Layton. I was talking to him, and he maybe if I see it, I'll remember. He either inked the whole page or just the panel. I can't remember. I think it's a whole page.
Well, he was in
Because he was in the
assistant to
office.
Giordano, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Hopefully, when I see it, I'll recall. But
Yeah,
I mean, this is just, when I got this, which was probably in the 80s, I was just like, oh man, why couldn't you have done more interiors for Superman? Damn it.
He did a couple of
'Cause-
backup stories, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got.
We
them,
did
and they're
one
like-
backup story that was all Clark Kent, and I was just like, I
Yeah,
don't
he's
care
like
about this.
babysitting or something. in one of them.
Yes. Yes. And the kid got away from him, and he was like, oh, I got to find the kid.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's lame. But yeah, now that you know Terry did the background inks, you can just see it all over the backgrounds and go, "Oh yeah, that's not Dick Giordano.
Oh, yeah.
Look how tight those
Yeah.
backgrounds are."
Yeah.
That's a great figure that's been ripped off quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. It's
great
just the
stuff.
story is just it's like
Oh, yeah.
reading it's like reading the Green Lantern, Green Arrow stories. We only remember them because of how great they look, but those things are really a tough chew. There's such polemic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The plots are terrible. I mean,
Mm.
and talking to Denny, it sounds like anytime he worked with Neil, that wasn't Batman. Neil had a hand in changing things.
Mm.
Oh, really?
And you're like, yeah, and like when you read that some of that dialogue here, this is not Denny O'Neil's dialogue. There's no freaking way this is Denny O'Neil's dialogue. And the same thing with the Green Lantern things. Some of that dialogue is clearly Neil. When
You know, on that Green Lantern thing, there is one issue that stands out. It's when the Green Lantern fights Green Arrow, and the Green Arrow says, "Take off your ring. Let's settle this." Imano, and they just beat the shit out of each other, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" Just two humans going at it.
But I thought Green Arrow pretty much won that, or was it a draw?
Well, they kind of made it like it's a draw because I think some log rolls off and bops them in the head, knocks them both out, so they don't get to finish the fight.
But here's the thing: Green Arrow, remember, Oliver Queen was this rich, spoiled dude who ended up on this island and developed all these skills and everything. Yeah, he worked out and all that. Green Lantern was fucking Chuck Yeager.
Yeah.
He was a badass growing up. He was a badass test pilot. He would have beat the shit out of Oliver Queen.
Yep. Absolutely.
But the thing is, you can't do that because Oliver Queen has one thing. Like he's a street level fighter.
No, it's his liberalism. This is one thing.
Yeah.
I love this panel of the Fortress of Solitude right there.
Yeah,
with all the stuff.
He stole Batman's dinosaur.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
The reason someone like Neil would have probably such incredible pull in a project like this, who else could possibly draw this? The likenesses and stuff and having to go through that commercial routine of fixing.
Well, it was supposed to be Joe Kubert. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't think
Joe did the cover.
Layout for the cover. And he actually did a finished ink cover.
Joe did a finished cover.
That's what I said.
And Neil literally, like, if you look at the cape, Google it, you can find it. If you look at the cape on the cover, it's totally Neil just stuck with what Joe did, figure poses and everything, because those aren't really Neil like poses. And when Neil got the cover, he was like, "Well, I'm going to draw famous people all over this thing because obviously it's Neil and he can do realistic people and stuff." But yeah, like Graham said, they had the whole thing colored and everything, and Joe's cover was rejected.
Why did Joe was supposed to do the interiors as well?
Originally? I assume since he did the cover.
You guys don't know why they switched out or what happened there?
I think that Muhammad Ali's people weren't happy with the likeness.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go. And Neil, having such a tremendous commercial background with his own studio and stuff, is used to dealing with that crap. Because if you work in commercial art, you're dealing with that crap all the time. Yeah. And so that's probably why he had leveraged so much, power in this, is because, it was Neil or nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this page. This page says it all.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, not only did he have to do Muhammad Ali, he had to do Bundini Brown and Ali's entourage.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and he had to do Jimmy Carter.
This is one of those jobs where they offer it to you, and you're like, I don't think so. Get somebody else to do it, man.
A lot of work. Yeah,
I think Neil is the only one who could have done this.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
you said
Neil Adams project. Period.
Well, I thought Neil came up with the story and everything for it. I didn't think Denny did.
Well,
you said Denny did?
Denny's the scripter.
Oh, okay, so he did the dialogue, but Neil came up with the actual story.
Doesn't say that in the credits.
Does it
I've
just
heard
give?
that, Andy. I've heard that rumor though that this was like Neil's idea, and then Denny came in and
It
did what he
seems
could.
like
Yeah.
a Neil
Yeah,
idea.
it seems like a Neil idea. I don't doubt it for a second. Seems like a Neil idea, and that maybe that's why he had so much pull in changing dialogue and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
By the way, Dan, I believe this is a page that Rob owns the artwork
Yes.
too.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
He owns a couple from here, doesn't
He
he?
owns, yeah, 2 or
Who
3.
does?
Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld.
Oh, yeah, well, I
Yeah,
guess
Rob's
money.
a really
Oh, this is like
he's a
his
collector.
fave.
He's a super
Yeah.
collector when it comes to like Byrne and Adams and
look at
Kirby and Smith. Yeah.
Just
I
great.
was
Yeah,
I was
it's-
a huge Neil Adams. I mean, I still am, but I was a huge Neil Adams fan when I was a kid. God, I loved his stuff.
Yep. This stuff is just it's just
Didn't
so
show
weird.
up a lot, but when it did, it was like a real treat. It's like,
Yeah. Look at that face.
You know, I was talking about this on my live stream this morning. Is like I was never really conscious of like certain artists when I was a kid, but when I got older, I started looking at my collection and I realized there's a lot of Neil Adams here. You know what I mean? So you were like a fan of them, but you weren't really aware that you were a fan of that artist.
Right.
You were just buying the comic book. So you're like, you know, I got a lot of John Byrne here. I got a lot of Neil Adams.
Right.
look at those aliens, man. Those are
I know.
so
look at
great.
look at the fried eggs aliens.
Mhm.
This middle panel right here.
Oh, yeah,
fried
you're
eggs,
right.
man.
Oh,
And then right
shit.
next to him are the chickens and the roosters.
Yeah.
Our babies.
There's Adam
Yeah,
Strange.
look at that. I mean, that just cracks me up. He drew freaking basically fried eggs.
Fried eggs, yeah. I love this.
I
Yeah.
miss
Oh,
Neil.
this is great. Hey, Dan, do you have easy to access the first Spider-Man, Superman on your drive, or do I need to look for it?
I do.
All right, because Art wants to pull up pages from it.
Okay.
Look
Yeah,
at
Jimmy Olsen face.
well, those double page spreads too. You talk about Graham was talking about depth earlier. Gee, many Christmas.
And also, these were huge. These were almost like, well, the treasury size books were
Yeah.
bigger, but this
Yeah.
almost original, like 11 by 17 size. So when you open a double page, that thing is larger.
I know it was freaking. That Superman Spider-Man Superman thing. Oh my gosh, those double page spreads.
Yeah.
They're hard to sell.
I still want to do a treasury size book like comic.
Well, that'd be so cool.
That'd be
Yep.
very
Shipping would be a nightmare.
When Superman busts through the alien spaceships, like when he gets exposed to the yellow sun again and gets his powers, is so cool. It's like I wish the book was more like that, where Superman was just badass kicking. Look at that shot right there. That is so hard to do.
Wait, which one?
That right there, where his body is falling down.
Song.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
know.
It looks like he's limp, and just got
Yeah.
knocked out.
yeah.
I never would have thought as a kid a shot like that. I'd be like, "Oh my god, that is so cool!" When it's just like a back of a guy falling down.
Neil,
But I remember seeing that, just thinking like, that is just.
You know
awesome.
what? Looking at this again, I still hate Muhammad Ali for kicking the shit out of Superman.
I know, right?
That's effed up, man. That
He
is
had
not
to do
cool.
it. He had to
Yeah,
do
but
it.
see, if
though.
I remember the story right, he had to do it because Superman, his ass is kicked here, but basically he snuck off.
Well, there's
Yeah,
a rubber
so
mask. Isn't there a rubber mask involved?
Yes,
The
yes, there
old
is.
rubber mask trick.
Because we're getting to that
Spaceship.
Armada
This has
stuff.
got everything in it, man. The rubber
Yeah.
mask, everything. Yeah.
And what? He got it done on time, I assume. So, but where's that? Let's find that spread you're talking about, because that
This
was
story
another
is
pose.
all over the place. Look at
Yeah.
this. You can't track this.
Look at that.
I know.
Look at that Muhammad Ali right there. That is just,
Yeah.
he was looking at this going, God, I wish I looked that good.
When was this? 76? I guess
Uh,
it's 77.
I think.
Yeah.
something around there.
Look at those. So
Knockout.
good.
What? That,
Oh yeah,
Just those
that's Superman.
faces.
He's got the Muhammad Ali mask on.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh,
Oh,
Superman's
Yeah.
wearing the Muhammad Ali mask.
Yeah, that's
Right.
him there. That's Superman.
Yeah. It was the old reversal. Yeah.
Oh.
and we're getting to where he knocks his ass right out of the ring.
Or
Hold
is he
on.
supposed to be Bundini Brown?
Oh, look at that.
I don't remember. They kind of look to get the same when.
No, the next panel is when he pulls off the mask.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's right here.
right there.
So
You know, I would have really given it to Neil if he had Superman do blackface instead.
Oh,
seriously.
was
You
he
had to go there, didn't you?
was he exposed to red sun and that's why he was weak? So
Yes.
Muhammad Ali could
Yeah.
beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, without breaking his hand, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it was part of the master plan too. Like these two have figured it out, right? So
Yeah.
this was all-
Yeah, it was.
Look at
Yeah.
that shot of Superman running. You know, how many comic artists would pick that angle?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a
Yeah,
nice
and the shading, the shadows on the leg and the leg muscles, so great.
Mm-hmm.
Or just this 3-panel too, where he jumps and he forgets he can't fly, and thank God there's that bridge there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
What would have been what would have been cool is if it was a page turn though. So he hits and you're like, what? And then you turn the page and see that he's just there.
Yeah.
Look at that with the cape hanging off his
Yeah, I
back
know,
and
that
the
looks
lighting
so
on the
good.
cape.
Yeah.
I like how the cape is short. It's not like he doesn't
Yeah.
use the cape as a design element where he shrinks it or expands it or whatever. It's always
Right.
on model.
Yep.
Yeah. He saved that for Batman. And
Right.
here we go. Muhammad's getting pissed.
Yeah.
Getting pissed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna take you down, sucker.
Look at that.
Look
Look
at
at that.
that.
It's there.
There it is. There's the shot.
Boom.
Bum,
Dun,
bum,
dun,
bum.
dun,
Look at
dun.
that
See, why couldn't DC have figured out with the Superman movie going, after it came out? So, they didn't know it was going to be a success before. After it comes out going, all right, guys, we got to have Neil do a freaking Superman movie adaptation or something.
Oh, that'd have been great with Christopher Reeve. Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve's likeness on
Yep.
Neil's Superman here. Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
man.
that's a major missed opportunity because I remember when Gary Frank did his Superman run and he used
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves as
Yeah.
a
Oh,
model.
yeah.
Mhm.
That was perfect.
Oh, look at that. When he punches that alien out of the ring, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Look at that.
Wait, scroll up a little bit. There's this shot where Superman busts through the floor of the spaceship.
Oh, right
There
here.
it is,
Yeah.
right there. Look at that. Look at how small
yeah.
he is in that big giant piece of steel that he's just pushing right through.
Oh, that's
Yep.
so cool.
And the gravity is all messed up now. Yeah.
Yeah, and he uses that as like a discus and he throws it and it busts up more spaceships.
I had a comic book artist one time, I
Yep.
won't say who it was, came up to me and said, I don't get why everybody thinks Neil Adams is so great. I'm just like, what?
You could
Why
tell
you
us off
telling my
stream who that
secrets,
was.
man? Why you telling
I
my
will.
secrets? Neil is great.
Mhm.
That's just.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the one you're talking about, Graham, the 2-page spread.
Go
Yeah.
through all of the ships. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It just tears
Just
you to
like that
pieces.
scene in Wanted.
The
where
lettering too,
Oh,
though, man. That
Yeah. God, the visual design of this
this
book
is-
is just incredible.
It is. It's freaking amazing. And then it ends. Doesn't it? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Come on. That perspective on that landing.
the verdict.
It's a lot of word balloons, though.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I blame
Holy
Danny.
cow.
I blame Danny.
And then we've
O'Neill.
got that baby right
Superman,
there.
we are the greatest. Yep, there it is.
Yo, yo, yo.
Mm.
strong.
There you go, chat. We just took you on a live journey through
Oh,
Superman, Muhammad
yeah.
Ali.
Now you don't.
So
have
I've
to
got
buy-
the original of this, and I got the and I've got the Treasury hardcover reprint they did.
Oh, nice.
Too.
Didn't
Yeah.
they?
But they
remake
stuck with their original colors. There was
Oh,
no
they did.
redrawing inside.
That's cool.
Thank
Okay,
God.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Nate D for $2. Greatest team up, Snowflake and Safe Space.
Truth.
Those are
Terrible.
real characters that were going to come out, and then Marvel
I
got
know.
so much heat they canned it.
I
Yeah.
know. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. That they would be making more fun of that than they did the poor breakdancer, the Australian breakdancer at the Olympics.
Oh, I
Oh
don't
my
feel bad
god,
for
I
her.
saw that.
I don't feel bad for her because that, from what I understand, that was a hustle. She
She
was,
wanted to go to Paris, right?
Yeah, she just wanted to go to Paris, and she learned her routine in like 37 minutes, and like the country didn't have anybody to send, but she was the one they could legally send because she had certification as a teacher of dance.
Yeah.
So she saw it as like a free trip to Paris. So when she gets out there, she's just
now
like,
she's paying for it. She's
Yeah.
paying for it.
no, dude, no, she's fucking great, dude. I love it. It's
Dude,
so
she's
good.
like that dude on American Idol, the Asian kid
Wong?
that couldn't sing for shit.
Joe Hung or whatever, William
Yeah,
Hung.
yeah.
Yeah.
William Hung,
You know what? When I
He bangs.
when I saw her dance, all I could think is the Gong Show. I wanted to get up and hit that gong so bad.
I
I
know.
thought she was doing her best. What's his face from AC/DC? You know, just trolling around on the ground. But
Angus Young.
Yeah.
Angus Young. Yeah.
I don't think she knew what she was going to do next. I think she was taking it up
should
as
have
she
done
went.
the curly shuffle. You know,
Dude,
got on her side, go.
they have I don't know. Her sense of confidence is what I really liked. You know, because it was like,
well, you got, if you're gonna go out there and do that in front of a
she's
billion
like
people,
she does the classic wipe her mouth before she, you know, and it's like, dude, man.
Hey, man, harbinger of chaos. Look at him.
Yeah, I know.
He's Australian. So
don't. She wanted to insult our country. Look up her activism, and we did have people to send. She stole their opportunity to stick it to the Olympics. How about
this is harbinger of chaos is
Australian.
Okay. That's good to know.
There you go. There's the inside scoop, according to Harbinger.
That's
oh wow!
Awesome. I'm gonna have to
all right,
look
that
even more
bitch.
into it.
Yeah, you know what?
To me, it seemed like a Napoleon Dynamite style movie. You know what I mean? Like you know, like you start off with her as a little girl in Australia. I wish I could go to Paris, you know, and like her dreams, and then like they ask her. And then she has the time of her life, but then she has to like actually go and perform and owns it. It becomes a national meme, international.
See, now Marcus says she's got a hero's welcome when she went back. So what's the story?
Well, what an Olympics remembered for the horrible breakdancing and then the two guys that beat up all the chicks in the boxing.
No,
and the shooter. And the guy shooting.
Hey, let's not forget the dong pole vaulter.
Oh, the dong pole vaulter, dude.
That guy
dude, I finally saw that video.
The French rope, they call him.
Oh, the French rope.
And we can't forget the Last Supper reenactment.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was a piece of art right there.
Dan, let's move on to you.
Did you find that, Andy? The Superman.
Dan,
the Superman.
Dan, you got it.
It's up. It's
okay.
Up.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
That was actually gonna be. I'm happy to talk about that one.
All right, bring it up.
Yeah, because I was thinking, you know how we were talking about Ross Andrew, we could just kind of roll it right in.
Sure, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I own an actual copy of it. This is a reprint, but still great nonetheless. Look at that.
I know.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
You can tell that
the feeling of the height.
You know what's interesting? Check out the figure of Superman. You can tell that's a Ross Andrew figure, but you can tell it's also just been juiced up by Neil Adams.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know what? There's just the right amount of juicing up by Ramita and Neil Adams in this book, because you can tell if you look, but you have to kind of look. You know what I mean? Like,
you also have to know.
Yeah, it works.
And the same thing with looking at the inks. You know, like if you're a student of that sort of thing, the Austin stuff stands out. You know,
like that robot. Look at how solid.
All that debris, that robot, and the debris back there.
And look at the debris behind him. He walked through those other buildings, and now he's walking through this one.
He stepped on that truck too.
Yeah. Look at that. Boom.
Well, this is a great example of Graham was pointing out Ross Andrews' way he used depth in his work in this layout. I assume he laid it out.
If I drew this, I would have added like figures like flying off that robot, like
I would have.
Or is that a little too much realism for you?
I would have had more fire and chaos and blood. Yeah, I know what you mean. But for what it is, this is perfect.
Doesn't
that.
that head look like a what is that from like it looks like an actual, what do they call those that went to the moon?
Oh, the space capsule.
Yeah, like a space capsule.
Oh yeah.
It kind of
See
does,
that?
doesn't it? I
Lunar
didn't know.
Hill-
Art, I hate to tell you, they didn't go to the moon.
Look at this.
Oh
You
my
get me started, Andy.
All right.
Here we go.
Hey, we're gonna have our talks in November, right, Andy? Like we're gonna
Oh,
talk
you know
about
it.
the moon.
But that's not the
and-
moon. That's JFK.
yeah, that's what I said. The
Well,
moon and
it's all
Kennedy.
connected, man.
Thank you, Aaron.
It's
Exactly.
all connected.
Now, see,
yeah.
this face doesn't look like Swan or Andrew to me. I mean, Neil Adams nor
Neil
Andrew.
Adams. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
That
figure,
looks like
though,
that looks like Andrew to me.
I
It
think
does
it's
look like
it,
Andrew. Yeah.
it feels like kind of a refined Ross Andrew picture.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like it might, because that's a Ross Andrew pose for sure.
yeah.
Well,
this-
so
yeah.
Dick Giordano said that Neil when he went to the studio, because it was during continuity and stuff. I think he said that Neil kind of asked, "Hey, do you mind if I just kind of mess with this a little bit?" And he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And he basically he kept the outlines that Ross did, hit it with like maybe a kneaded eraser or something, kept the outlines. Because like, look at that Superman figure. If you just look at the outlines of the figure, that's totally Ross.
Right.
And then Neil
The
just kind of
interior.
rendered up more Neil on the inside.
On
of
the
it.
insides.
I
Yeah,
remember
and change
seeing this as a
proportions.
kid.
Like Ross would do really long legs, and those legs are much more in proportion. Like you look at the panel below, that's Ross, and look at how long that leg looks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's cool pose though.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I remember reading this going because I was reading Spider-Man at the time, and Ross Andrew was the artist on Spider-Man. I was like reading this book going, this is the best that Ross Andrews ever looked. And now I know why.
You didn't like Ross Andrew on the Kiss magazine?
I don't remember ever
I think-
buying
Wait, he
that.
didn't do that, did he? That was Alan Weiss, I thought.
Oh, was it Alan Weiss? I always get those two confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look at
Yeah, it was
that.
Alan Weiss and J.R. Jr.
See,
worked
Look
on
at this.
some of it.
Doesn't the one in the middle look like Neil Adams, but the one at the bottom is definitely Ross Andrew?
Yes.
Well, that
Well,
second
the one at the top
that second
almost
panel
looks like Kurt Swan.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, exactly. But
Love
it's
the
subtle,
colors.
it's subtle enough you don't really pick up on it.
Yeah.
So it all works. Oh,
I
my
love
God.
that one, that robot thing. Oh, that was so cool.
This
Underwater.
shot's awesome.
Yeah. You
I
really
like
get a
the
sense of
I like the layouts better than Neil Adams though. Like that, I think like Neil's layouts are a little too all over the place.
Yeah.
they can get too nutty.
Just
For sure.
enough. This is just enough, where things are breaking panels and stuff, but you can follow it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love
And I
that
gotta
Superman
say-
face on the last panel.
Yeah. I love the length of the cape. It's,
Yeah.
for Batman, you're supposed to play with it, make it long, all that stuff. But for Superman, it doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah.
No capes.
Oops,
Yeah, those
color mess
are all,
app.
those are all Ross
Yeah.
Andrew figures here.
Oh yeah.
Choo. When are we going to start seeing some Spidey guys?
Well,
Halfway
they
through
both
pretty
had about
much.
20 pages of their own story.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And
15.
then they
I
meet
guess.
at some convention, right? They brought them together for some kind of news convention or newspaper convention.
Oh, look at
Here we
that.
go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Because I think they meet first as Peter Parker and Clark Kent, right?
Yes. Yeah.
These are great.
Wow.
How much do you think these originals go for this book?
Dumb money. Dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would buy that page that you just showed.
Yeah.
This
Awesome.
one.
Hey, does Rob own any of these? Do you know,
Yeah,
Dan?
So. He might, but I don't think so.
Yeah, look at that back view of Spider-Man and Doc Ock. It's just crazy.
This here.
But see, that's what's weird because now you look at it and it's just
Oh, this.
totally Ross.
Yeah.
It's totally Ross. No Neil at
Mhm.
all.
Because I don't think Neil touched any of these. I think that's just Giordano and Ross.
Well, I
Yeah.
think they said that Ramita did come in and work on some of the stuff, right?
Yeah, but his
Maybe
is the
some of
Peter
the
Parker
Peter?
stuff. That's the Ramita right
Yeah,
there.
you can see that face
Okay.
right there in that second
Yeah.
panel. That's Romita all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all Romita faces.
What a great 3/4 back, man. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just the real delicate, thin lines, but look at how bold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Man, that's the worst I ever seen Jay Jonah react. Look, he's gonna
He's gonna
throw.
kill him.
He dives over the desk.
Look at
the
that.
depth
Oh,
of
I
red.
remember this page. Yeah.
Oh,
He-
this page would kill me if I had to draw this. Ugh.
Look at that.
Aaron's like,
But
I
it's
gotta draw
cool,
what?
like it's very stylistic. Like he's stepping right into the next panel.
You really feel the height.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The three guys for me that do that the best in comics were Ross Andrew, Joe Kubert, and Nick Cardy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
These guys must have got paid extra for this book, don't you think? Because
I
it
would
looks like
think.
they really put some effort into it.
Well, I
I
know
think they also knew how
Ross missed a
important it
couple
was.
issues of Amazing because of it.
Yeah. And how important this was. This is the first Marvel DC crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I got Superman, Batman too, or Superman. Batman, Hulk. The
Oh, that's a great
Garcia
one.
Lopez, right?
Yeah, that was Garcia.
Yeah.
Lopez. Yeah.
Yeah, that
But
one's
didn't
not so
Buscema
great.
have something to do with that?
Well, he did the second Spider-Man Superman, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was Buscema?
Oh, maybe
Yes.
that's what it is.
And it
Yeah,
Oh,
but
look
he
at
was so constrained with the 6-panel grids and
Yeah,
stuff.
that
It
was
was
not
like,
Shooter
oh.
was really constraining him.
I like how they teased the story too, where they got like they crossed the universes over, but in ways that they didn't give the characters away yet, right? So it's the villains meet for the first time, and then Peter and Clark meet for the first time before there's a Superman, Spider-Man. So they're definitely building story-wise to the big event.
Who wrote this again?
Jerry Conway.
This is Jerry Conway.
Yeah, Jerry. He may be a crazy lib now, but he actually wrote some good Spider-Man stuff.
Look
He
at
did.
this, man. Multi-level. You got a lower floor, an escalator coming up to this floor. You got people up on this
Yep.
floor. What a real just. I wish the spread was uninhibited, but
Yeah.
And just know
And
that
this is hey, go back real fast.
yeah.
One of the things I loved about this book is just the Ross Andrew, the way he did suits and wrinkles and stuff was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at Robertson down there, the tilt of the body and then the pulls in the suit jacket and stuff. Oh,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that computer in the background, you have more computing power in your phone right now than that big
That's true.
It's true.
yo, just going back, just talking about the funkiness. Look at the cipher of lines on Peter's pants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're so abstract.
And those are called bell bottoms, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
come on, man.
This
Give
is
it the
kind of
time.
Klausy. This is a little Klausy here.
Yep.
Oh, so the guy shot a load into his face, huh?
That was that what's that dude's
Morgan
name? That
Edring.
was yeah,
Morgan Edge.
Clark's nemesis.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, that was his boss.
Yeah.
dude.
That was his
I would
boss?
love to own
You're
this
thinking
sweater.
of Steve Lombard. That was his nemesis.
Oh, right. That he was the sports guy, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Steve-
go back. Go back. Look at that Superman shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great
dude.
shot right there.
That's
That's
commanding.
That's a lot of Neil there.
That's
Mhm.
great lighting too. That shadowing is
God,
awesome.
it's so good.
You know what I'm noticing a lot with this is outlines, like those
Yes.
like little halo outlines,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which seems like it's more contemporary. I didn't know they were
this
using
this
this
bit,
much.
this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Art. Because the first time I remember seeing it was like on Marshall Rogers, Terry Austin type stuff. But I think it was
This
a
could
Terry
be a
Austin.
Terry Austin thing, because
Yeah.
he did work on the backgrounds.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh,
There it is.
Ah,
You know, this
Man,
is
that is
probably
it.
this has gotta take $1 million, man. Like, if somebody owns this,
Yeah, I wonder
this
who
is-
owns
yeah.
that.
I don't know, but dude, it's so good.
Do you think
Now look at
Neil-
that. Look at that figure of Superman. Is it just me, or do you guys see a lot of John Byrne in that? Like Byrne definitely was influenced.
In the chest.
I knew he was influenced
In the
by
chest.
Neil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the chest, the arms, and that hand gesture, that kind of like that flat
yeah.
hand. That's kind of like a John Byrne thing. Yeah.
Look at Spider-Man's arm. That is not Ross Andrew. Neil Adams, I think, worked on both of these figures in this double.
Dude, that Spider-Man figure
maybe.
is perfect, and the rendering. See how it pulls towards the action?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it. It's so fucking good.
But
They're gonna be sorry, Spider-Man.
And it's that background that Aaron would really love to draw.
Yeah, Aaron loves backgrounds.
No, I'd get. Oh, look at that. That is
the one right there.
That's Neil.
That is my favorite.
Oh God, that's so good. Yeah, I'd hire Terry Austin to do my backgrounds if I had to do this.
That's rubber masks were big technology back then.
Yeah,
apparently
everybody was wearing rubber masks.
Acme Rubber Mask Company.
Yeah, we're making a mint.
People were getting fooled real easy.
Used to get his.
Kaboom!
Oh, that's another great one there.
What must a Spidey punch feel like to Superman? It looks like it's doing some sort of damage.
Well, he shot him with the red sun, so he's powered him up.
How do these people know about these?
Wait, was it red sun or was it a House of Kryptonite? Which was
No, it was red sun. See this?
They shot. Do you see like Spider-Man's all buff? He's all huge.
Because he didn't. Superman didn't get weaker. It's just Superman, Spider-Man got stronger.
Yeah, Lex blasted him with some kind of laser.
Oh, okay.
It was red sun.
Dude, look at this shot.
Yeah. Because when it wears off and Spider-Man starts punching Superman, he starts breaking his hand.
Yeah. Look at that shot down there under Spider-Man swinging there on the left. That's so good. Yeah. Nice.
And also, Superman's hit so hard, like he grabs to brace himself, and he just pulls part of the building off with him. That's a great shot. I think the sound effect is pretty lame. Rip. I don't think that's a rip sound effect.
I like this. Superman finally gets all pissed off, and he's not taking anymore. And he goes to throw an actual punch, and he realizes, "Great Krypton! What am I doing? If this blow connects, it'll kill him." And he pulls the punch, and it's like the sonic boom.
Sonic wave
plus.
See, it would have been funny to see an alternate drawing of this, like if Ross was messing around and he draws a panel where Spider-Man's head explodes.
Yeah.
Well, you know why Superman's got good training, because that's how he contains himself with Lois Lane in the bedroom.
That's right.
Goes right to the modern art.
Every one of them is ruined.
He'd literally blow her back out.
Well, all she feels is the sonic boom.
They should have had Spider-Man destroying that modern art, not flying through it.
Now you see what's weird about this page?
This is classic.
Neil doesn't look. It doesn't look like Neil even touched that page before.
No.
Yeah, that's classic Andrew, the triptych panel arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 3.
Damn it.
Back to Neil.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, look at the musculature in the legs and yeah.
That's a great Spider-Man figure too.
There's tremendous double page spreads in this.
Yeah.
issue.
This was how long it took Spider-Man to make those skis so straight and perfect with his webbing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? This was the day when people that created comic books knew what comic book readers wanted, and they gave it to them. They weren't like holding out or being contrary or anything like that. They were like, let's give them the best Superman, Spider-Man comic we can do. And look, it's all over the place.
I want to look at that Superman expression. I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right there.
Please drink.
Of blood and cattle. Blood.
I think I'm cool, man.
And he doesn't even say anything. It's just Spider-Man saying, "We'll pass."
Yeah. How many pages was this, man? 88.
Oh, these things. Yeah.
I remember it being smaller, like 64 or something. This is.
Oh, look at Lex's ship. That's cool, man.
That's such a toy.
I hated that costume though. That purple.
I know the purple and the green one,
and the high collar. You know,
total 70s.
Yeah,
70s. Oh, look at those spaceship stuff.
Wow,
so good.
I love that. I love the last face of Lex laughing. Though that's great.
You know what's great about this the Muhammad Ali is you can actually track the story as we're going. That Muhammad Ali,
You had no idea what was going on. Yeah.
Bam.
That's all.
That's so
Andrew.
great. Look
That's
how
all,
dynamic
Andrew.
this panel is.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they switched it up so they had to fight each other's villains.
Right.
Yeah. You got it, man. You got it. This
everything
is.
you wanted. Everything you
Oh,
wanted.
look at that.
I
That's
love
a
that
great
one.
one.
They
He
don't
ripped
tell
the
me
bite out of his back. Like, I remember when I saw that, I was like, can you do that? Would that kill Dr. Octopus?
Talking about blowing your back out. Look at that.
And
look at his hand.
that looks like Neil did a lot of work on that one.
Yeah.
Look at that one leg. It's like,
That figure is completely Andrew.
Jack.
Yeah, but the insides of it, just like it, Oc's face doesn't look like. It doesn't look
gets
like
the point
Andrew.
across, but yeah, it's kind of Jack. Bam! Look at that punch. Take that, Lex.
Man, this is making me really want to pour through this again.
This is making me want to draw comic books.
Yeah, look at
Right.
that
Yeah,
satellite
very
shot back over
inspiring.
here. That satellite shot, it's so simple, but
This line that Spider-Man has here, do you hear that guy, Aki? He's going to destroy the Earth. Where are you going to spend your loot then? And he's like, dear Lord, he's mad. And
Dear
I
Lord.
can't let you do it,
the
Luther.
Earth is my home too. Ah.
My favorite thing is when villains fight other villains. Like I think since the Universal Monsters days, I was like, you know, the werewolf fighting Dracula, and then bringing it into Frankenstein and all that stuff. I think I always love that, because then it's always like there's kind of one villain that's not as bad as the other villain. So you get to see who really is the eviler of the two.
That's the
Andy, go back to that spread. Go back to the double page spread.
This boosh.
No,
Yeah.
the double page spread with the tidal wave. One more.
This one.
Yeah.
No, it's this one.
No.
Yeah.
Look at how tiny Superman is, and yet you just get this incredible scope of just how massive this thing is.
Yeah, yeah.
Goodbye, Boston. Goodbye, New York. Goodbye, Washington. Well, I guess you get the point.
That's
So much
great.
energy in that too. Yeah.
Love this.
And also,
dude.
they concoct a global like catastrophe that only Superman could solve. Like Spider-Man couldn't have stopped that tidal wave, but Superman could.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's good writing to the strength of the characters.
How cool is this?
Yeah, I always thought that was neat. Carmine's original sketch idea.
Love that. That's what I liked about the Batman Hulk one, is they showed that in the back as well too.
You know, Carmine got a lot of promotion out of this. What did Stan Lee have anything? Because he gets credit in it, but did he have? Is there any story that you guys have heard that Stan Lee had some kind of input on that or anything like that?
Yeah, I think he was involved with the negotiations.
Okay, behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it had to be equitable. Like they both had to have X amount of, time on screen, if you will. It's interesting. Interesting.
Kind
how
of like Bugs Bunny and Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Daffy Duck in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They had to negotiate the same amount of screen time.
Well, you know what? That's the last time I worked with somebody with a speech impediment.
That's right. All right, Graham, you've got one here. We've been all over the place, but I know you've been saving this. So let's take a look at what you got here.
Yeah, this is Spider-Man Annual.
Yes, so good. Isn't it
That's
Frank Miller
too?
Yeah, it's Frank Miller. This is written by Denny.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if script by Denny O'Neil. And this is the first time you see the Punisher written the way that everybody thinks that Frank wrote him. Right? So Frank drew this, but I mean, wait till you see some of this stuff here.
But so you're saying that basically Denny should get the credit for changing.
Is this Klaus on inks?
Yes.
Yeah.
So look at this,
Oh man.
It has one of my look at that. It's a very Ditko. He's not going to shoot him with I think he shoots him with rubber bullets or something like that. because it was a mercy bullet. Yeah. Stops without killing. It's nothing's going to stop the Punisher from doing what he wants to do, even though he's dealing with this superhero dude, right? But I don't know how much time we have if we want to go through this whole thing, but
Go ahead.
We got 20 minutes.
I want to get to the end part because the end is what is the money shot. Look at that fighting. Speaking of Dr. Octopus, Dr. Octopus kind of manhandles the Punisher here.
Well, I mean, the Punisher is just a regular dude with guns, so.
Yes, that is true.
And a burning coal inside his heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some nice kind of Frank Miller imagery here that he used. It evolved more into Daredevil, but you can see it here. There's some stuff.
Is this pre-Daredevil?
Yes. Wow. Yeah, this is 1980.
Like
I think it's 1982.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that last panel.
Let me see. What is it? Oops, wrong one. 81.
81.
Well, I think Miller's first Daredevil issue was 79 when Mantlo or whoever was still writing, but
okay.
It took him a while, but he had a very sort of generic superhero style, and it started evolving like this.
Yeah,
in this time period.
It's interesting to see he was like kind of from that Neil Adams school, early on, and it was kind of more realistic, and then it became more stylistic as it went along.
See, I thought his stuff was very Gil Kane-ish when he first took over Daredevil,
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, there were a lot of Gil Kane looking poses with the twists and
stuff and stuff like that, especially when oh my gosh, what's the inker? Oh shit. Klaus Janson, started inking him. I was like, this kind of has like the pseudo Neil Adams look.
This is the money of this story here. Spider-Man, doesn't want him to kill and all that kind of stuff. So, he webs him up to this piling, and you could say he's just a strong guy, but he busted this piling, with his abs. And then this cop shows up and tells him freeze. He says, "Kid cop scared. I could drop him easy, but I don't have any mercy bullets left." He just has real bullets, right? So look at this. If I pull the trigger, he's cold meat. He is the law. No problem, son. I don't fight the police, but you guys may not realize it, but we're on the same side. Tell it to the judge, mister. I will. He won't believe me either. You bet he won't. He'll probably put you behind bars. Now, this is it. He'll probably put you behind bars for the rest of your life. Could be. One nice thing about prison, though, there are lots of criminals there. Lots of them.
Yes. Is this where he gets locked up?
Yeah. Well, yeah. When he appears in Daredevil locked up, it was because of this story.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, did he not get out until the miniseries? Because he was in prison in that miniseries too. That Zek and
that
or did he get out in Daredevil?
He got out.
No, he got out in Daredevil. That was different.
Okay.
I don't even know. Was there something leading up to that Punisher miniseries that got him thrown back in jail? I don't know if there really was, or if he was just kind of floating out there, and they were just like, we're doing this Punisher miniseries. Let's start him off in jail. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the timeline is as far as what was published.
Yeah.
When, but I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, this is great.
In 81, Miller. I'm not sure if Mackenzie was still writing Daredevil or if Miller had taken over yet, but I'm pretty sure that when the Punisher shows up in prison there, and he confronts Bullseye and stuff, I think it's because of this incident that he got landed in jail.
Yep, very cool. That's a great story.
Yeah, but I just love that ending. Lots of criminals there. Yep. The one thing he wants, it's like sending a bookworm to a library,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're going to put me down. No.
Also, that's kind of a precursor because it's like Alan Moore kind of used that with Rorschach and the Watchmen, right? Like,
you're here with me.
You're in here with me. Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of.
not trapped in here with you. I mean, you're trapped here with me.
Yeah.
All right, I've got a couple I want to show you guys real quick as we're winding down here. Speaking of drawing the back of Spider-Man's head, here's another Byrne issue.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Man Thing. Any team up with the Man Thing, you know I'm there.
Oh yeah.
Here's another one that's very unlikely, but of course I have all these in near mint. I just want to make sure you guys know that. But,
Oh, we know.
Fear burns at the touch of the Man Thing.
Martial arts versus Man Thing, and one artist.
Who drew the guts to
on
this
fall.
one? Do you know?
Huh?
Who drew the interiors? Any idea?
This would have been. I have to go crack it open. It's
Crack the slab, Aaron. We'll
no,
wait.
it's not slab. It's not
Yeah. I want to hear the noise of the plastic.
Do I need to? You want me to pull this up?
90.
Yeah,
dude,
pull it up.
because I think it was probably Zach, but I'm not sure.
Master of Kung Fu 19.
It
Dude,
probably was Zach,
how
but I'm not
easy
sure.
is it to kick through that dude's?
No, Zek didn't do Kung Fu until like the 70s or 60s or something.
Wait a minute. No, I thought. Oh, was Zach after Galassi, or was Galassi after Zach?
Zek was after Galassi.
Okay, I was thinking it was
And
the other one.
Galassi
number
wasn't.
is that?
Somebody's
Oh, here
saying
it is.
Galassi.
I got
Henry's
it.
saying Galassi, but
Okay,
I think
well,
that's
we'll
too
find out.
early.
I got you. That's like my thing. I'm the navigator.
That's right. He's going to show us how it is.
There you go. It's up. Dude, look at him kick through that guy's juice. Just
It's juice.
I love his colors on that.
Yeah.
That's
Does
a Tom
that shit
Palmer
regrow?
Yeah.
Like okay, because I wasn't a Man Thing guy. I don't know anything about
All
him
those
other
Swamp Thing dudes, man, they all regenerate.
Okay.
Even Garbage Man.
Look at that. Paul Galassi, Milgram.
It is Paul Galassi.
How
Wow,
about that? Okay.
That's really cool looking.
that's early Paul.
It's almost like that's like a Man Thing's Zen pose or something, right? He's the wise
know,
man
dude.
on the hill.
That is just not a pose I would ever picture Man Thing in.
I know.
That's him just chilling.
No, not like that. That is just too. It's just too human relaxed, you know.
Yeah,
He does look like he's chilling though.
He does.
But that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. He looks too relaxed. But isn't Shang-Chi just kind of rolling up on him in his own habitat?
Why are they all grabbing like vines and stuff? Like Shang-Chi has like, or what's his name? Master of Kung Fu has the what are the like vines or something in his hand? Like
Yeah. Let's see.
Slap
Let's see
him
what it
around
says.
with
Yeah, when you're in the swamp,
what-
man. You
Yeah,
gotta grab it.
when in the swamp, grab what you can.
grab what you can, yeah.
It says retreat. What manner of monster is this? Which
What
moves so
manner of
suddenly
monster
is my
is this?
path? The son of Fu Manchu, I've been witness to much, but never anything of like this. What can this creature? What can be this creature's role? This is some weird talking.
Yeah. Well, it's
Are they?
Far East.
Are they trying to? I see.
Who wrote this one again? Don
Englehart.
McGregor. Oh, Englehart.
Yeah.
Man Thing popped up all over the place as a guest star in like so many books. It's always like he was in the X-Men once, and he, like I said, he Spider-Man. I think he was in a Spider-Man annual too. I think he's teamed up with Spider-Man like 3 or 4 times. Daredevil got an issue where Man Thing is the guest star in it.
This is just weird. It looks like he's playing guitar. And then
Oh yeah.
he like falls over. I mean, I'm not knocking. I love Paul Galassi, but this doesn't seem like his best stuff.
Well, it's early.
Oh, this
man.
is his early stuff. That's why.
Oh,
if you
is
go
it?
into the later issues,
Oh, look at
Okay,
that.
you go-
Great.
Because
go to the later issues of Master of Kung Fu, and that's when you get the Paul Galassi stuff with all the real nice design and the
That's what
splash
the
pages.
Steranko influence. You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's all stuck inside him.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't
Ah.
fear him at least.
No, apparently
The
not.
top guy, he looks like Doug Mensch.
Wait, if you fear the man thing, you get stuck inside him?
No,
No,
don't
you
you
No,
think?
burn.
you burn.
Don't you think that looks like carradine in
Yeah.
Kung
Oh,
yeah.
Fu?
Yeah, a little bit.
I never read this book. I mean, I never read
think-
the series.
I think
neither.
Galassi did get better, but yeah, he's got this habit of just grabbing branches and touching
You got to do something with your hands, man, when you're out there in the swamp.
trees. Look at that getting in
There you go. That's a little
Love the
strength,
colors,
right?
man.
Look at that.
The
Yeah.
color on this is so cool. You got yellow and purples and blues and yeah, good shit.
Dude, that is definitely David Carradine. He's trying to make him look like Carradine.
Hmm.
I think he is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
There was
what
no
I'm
pause
getting at,
button
right.
back then. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that had to be rough.
You can see the Stranko influence on his
Oh,
work.
yeah.
So
Oh
clearly.
yeah,
Even
look at this guy right here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure glad he got. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's cool. That's real Steranko.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real nice.
There's some guys burning.
Yeah, there's
What happened? Did he touch the man thing? Is that what's happening there? Or?
Maybe the man thing touched them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I love this. I love this. It's so good. Yeah, you need any other Master of Kung Fu stuff?
Well, hang on a second. Graham, what do you got here?
No, it's the
Oh,
same thing.
that was the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I got a couple quick things I want to show you guys, and then we'll go around and do our commercial time. Without going down a rabbit hole on any of these, I just want to show them real quick. Speaking of Spider-Man team ups, huh?
Hey, that's a great cover, man.
Yeah.
That's
Who is that? Is that Lytle or no?
No, that's
Bruner.
Bruner.
That's Frank Bruner.
Wow.
That's Bruner inked that, but Leo Loa inked the insides, I'm pretty sure. In fact, I know he did.
You own that, don't you, Aaron?
I own 2 copies of it.
In
I
mint.
knew it.
Well, one's a 9.0 and the other one's a 9.2. So.
Are they slabbed?
crap.
Or are you making
they're
those
not
numbers
slabbed. I
up?
don't slab anything unless it's like worth.
So you're just
hundreds.
making those numbers up. I get it.
That's right. They're not
Interesting.
guaranteed numbers.
That's my professional opinion. Okay, that's
Hey,
all.
you know what? I would trust Aaron's professional opinion.
I got a
on
professional
comic
opinion
book.
on those comics too.
Dick.
Oh,
Now
Boy,
I'm
you
surprised.
hit Aaron where it hurts, man.
I
I
did. He dropped the D word on me.
Now
Brave and the
I'm
Bold.
surprised, Graham. You didn't bring up any of these Brave and the Bolds, man. Look at this.
Wow, dude,
I
that's
almost
beautiful.
brought up Batman and Sergeant Rock.
Well, The Brave and Bold was my next as well, because
Yeah.
that was the book. It was Marvel Team Up and Brave and the Bold, man.
What issue number is that? 75?
Yeah, but Neil
Yeah.
only did he did the covers, but he only did a couple of the interiors.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
interior-
a Neil
Neil-
cover.
Yeah, that's
Did
a
Neil
Neil
do
cover.
the interior with Sergeant Rock?
Yes.
Batman
I
and
got a
Sergeant
page
Rock?
from that. Yeah, pull up that Sergeant Rock issue. I think it's 86.
Because that was great, man.
Dan.
86 of Sergeant Rock. Sorry,
No,
I was
Brave and the Bold.
No, Brave and the Bold.
What 86 you say?
Yeah, I think it was.
Let me
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb too. I like that old Batman logo, and I like that Spectre logo.
Yes.
Oh,
I like
that
when they would
Batman logo.
incorporate the character into the logo.
Neil did that
Yeah.
Batman Aquaman one.
there you go.
Yeah,
Did
you're
he?
right. He did. Well, he did.
Oh
both
no,
of
it's
Deadman.
not that one.
Yeah, that's
Go
not
back
it.
to your thumbnails.
But he did
Look
do
at
the
that,
interiors
though.
of this. He did 79 and 86. They're both Deadman issues, and he did both the interiors on those.
There it is.
There
There's
it is.
Right.
Yeah,
84.
84.
84?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, I have all of those issues.
There it is.
Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him.
I got them all,
channeling
too.
Hubert there.
Yes.
Look at that! Look at that opening page. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I like this guy's face.
Evil German.
You can tell
That's
you're
real
not
Joe
gonna like
Kubert
that
looking.
guy. Yeah.
I don't Lieber him at all. The Angel, the Rock, and the Cowl.
Mhm.
We
He's doing a little Hubert in there, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at the third panel.
Yep.
The 3/4 back is, but then look at the last panel.
Yeah,
That's
that
real
guy's
Hubert.
face is all Hubert, man.
Did you see how he transitioned this?
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying, Neil? Transitioning?
What?
Oh, yeah, from his head to
Oh,
the.
look, dude, that is straight. That's that actor.
Yeah,
What's his
that's
name?
Winston Churchill.
It's Winston
That's
Churchill.
there. You go. That actor.
That actor.
That political actor. Yeah.
He pretended
Dude,
to be
I-
the Prime Minister of England.
Yeah, that was his best role. These colors are incredible.
Yeah.
How is Batman back in the 40s?
I don't know how they explain that. Yeah.
Wait,
I
did
don't remember.
Hubert draw the Rock? And
No.
So
No.
Neil drew him like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Hubert style.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's good.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
He did that in that Enemy Ace issue, too, of Detective.
Yeah, I remember
wasn't it?
that. I just don't remember. I didn't know about this.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Hold on, give me a second. Hell yeah.
Oop, CG racers.
The Mexican bug.
Mexican bug.
That sounds racist.
Oh.
La cucaracha.
Oh, look at that swastika back there. That's trouble, man.
Can't put
Can't
that
do
in a
that
comic
anymore.
book.
That dude's getting conked in the noggin.
Man, Neil pulls off these close-ups in a way that don't feel weird.
Yeah.
You know?
I love those tight close-ups like that. It just
Yeah.
really
Because he
moves you
draws
into
the
it.
shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that third panel, the back shot of Batman as he's flipping over and punching
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's like kind of a Spider-Man move. You know, it's amazing
Yeah.
they haven't done that more often with Batman, because bats hang upside down.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, do you think was Neil the first guy to really make Batman like super athletic like that, where he was flying around like, jumping and twirling in the air and stuff?
He also made him
Yeah.
more mysterious, I thought, like a lot of shadows and hiding behind the cape and things like that. Him and Aparo, I think that's my favorite time for the Batman character, because he was a fighter, but he was still there was a mystery about the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't the story that when Neil came in and I don't know, Graham, you probably know better than me, whether he got off, whatever, he got offered Batman, but wasn't it Neil's thing to say, I want to take him darker instead of he was kind of just, more campy before.
He
You know
was
what I
more
mean?
campy, but it was already starting to turn because, and nobody gives him credit, but Frank Robbins was writing these noir detective stories for
okay.
Batman at the same time that Neil and Denny were doing their thing. In fact, the Man Bat stories with Neil were written by Frank
Yes.
Robbins.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Those were great stories.
yeah.
those were.
Yeah,
Now-
Frank used to write great mystery stories.
Irv
Batman.
Novak was working on this about the same time too, weren't they? Kind of like rotating or something. Neil
Yep.
was.
Irv Novak too. Yeah.
Who inked this?
Giordano, I
don't
think.
know.
didn't he?
Is it?
It's either
I don't know, it might be
Chiseled.
Neil.
It's
No, I
real
think it's
chiseled.
Neil. I think
Oh,
Neil.
that's true. Yeah, it could be Neil. On the Brave and the Bold, he inked himself on the two
Okay.
Dead Men stories I know. So he probably did on this too.
Yeah, he did.
Man, look at that Sergeant Rock face.
Yeah.
He really stayed on model. This looks like Hubert. It's so.
Yeah.
Well, Adams was a huge fan of Kubert.
Yeah, I can see
He
that.
certainly did him justice, man. These were
Very
great.
thick.
Mhm.
There's the circular panel.
These colors are just great, man. These guys didn't get enough credit
Yeah.
for what they were doing.
Yeah. DC's color in the early 70s, I mean early 70s, like 70 through 72 maybe,
Mhm.
maybe even 69. The interior colors were so much better than Marvel. I don't know who. Oh, it was oh god.
Was
we
it
talked
Jack
about-
Adler?
I think it was Adler who was in charge of that, who was bringing a lot of color theory into it.
Yeah, because these, I mean, this green, this orange, all of this right here is sublime.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, I missed this period of time because I mean, it looks like flat color, but it's more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
but it still lets the line work tell the story. You know, it just sort of it's a nice augmentation of the artwork, but it doesn't overpower.
Dan,
it.
open up the Aquaman one.
Okay, let me present my screen again. Hold on a second.
Dan, present yourself to us.
I'm presenting
In all your glory, Dan.
Full
All right.
frontal.
You're talking about
Peacock yourself, Dan.
page 8. They make crazy noises, man.
There it is, the one on the bottom right.
Yeah.
82.
Yep.
Oh, and the one before that was Neil, inked by Vinnie Coletta.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's see who inked this one.
Yeah, that's a cool cover though. He looks pretty wrecked.
I think yeah.
Look at that shot.
Yeah.
Wait,
I remember
this is all
this one
Neil
as a
too,
kid.
huh? How many Brave and Bolds did he do?
He did the 2 Dead Men issues. He did the Sergeant Rock. He did this one, the Aquaman
He did
one.
the one before this one.
He did the Green Arrow one too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the Green Arrow one.
This is so good.
And
He did a lot of covers. He did a lot of covers, and he did the one.
Yep.
What was it? What was the character? He was the weird Ditko character with the creeper.
The Creeper.
The Creeper.
I don't think he drew the insides of that though. I don't think he drew
Just
the
the
cover.
cover?
Just the cover.
Okay.
He did the House of Mystery one though, which was 101 or 100 or 99 or something like that. He did that one as well. The insides.
I think this
House
is
of
the
Mystery.
first time where I remember seeing Aquaman in a story, and that first time like I realized that Aquaman is super strong, because he like manhandles Batman here, like he's already busted up from Aquaman tossing him or something. And then there's a Brave and Bold, like I think it's 114, where he meets Aquaman again. And that one's done by Jim Aparo. It's so great. He's underwater, and Aquaman swims up behind him, and Batman's shocked, and Aquaman just grabs his rebreather out of his mouth, and he's handling him like a child. Like Aquaman has no effort on his face. He's just like boom, tearing out this shit, and he grabs Batman and manhandles him, throws him back into a sub. It was so cool. I thought as a kid that, oh man, look at Aquaman.
That's in this story
Where's
here.
Aquaman? No, it's what'd you say, 114?
I think it's 114.
There's also an issue of Aquaman drawn by Don Newton that Batman's in with Aquaman. It's towards the end of the run.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These are old ones.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, you're going the wrong
Hold
way.
on a
You're
second.
wrong way Feldman right now.
No, I'm not. Give me a second. I have to type in the word bold again.
You got to
should
get
use,
bold again.
Bolt on.
There we go. You said one.
Oh, there it is, right there on the right. 114.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a 100-pager. Is it?
Yeah,
Nice.
Oh shit!
I
Look
want
at
to see
that
this. I
cover,
haven't seen
man.
this one.
that's
That's
Jim
a
Aparo.
That's
Yeah.
Jim Aparo.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is.
Oh, open that
visceral.
one up. Open it up.
You know what I hated about the 100 pagers is you get a great piece of artwork, but it's not the whole cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that
Right.
should be the whole freaking cover.
That's
That is
beautiful.
a great piece of art, man.
Yeah.
Yo, look at that!
Pat Broderick.
Holy smokes, dude, that's sick.
Pat Broderick.
I
Early
love
Pat.
him, man.
I like Pat's
Wow.
Captain Marvel stuff in the 70s too, when he took over for Starlin.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I
Wait,
like that
what,
stuff.
What was it? Was this just like a splash or something?
Yeah.
Just an introductory page.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
What do they call it? A title page.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's really cool. And this is 74.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cartoony. I dig it. Wow.
I didn't know Pat Broderick was around that early.
Oh
Neither
my
did I.
gosh.
Look at that. That's a great page. Jeez.
I know. Look at that cape. Love it.
You know what? Aparo was so good at stretching the anatomy, but it always worked. You know, like the legs were long, the head was long, like the whole body, but it was consistent.
Mhm.
And it was
This
always
is
Here we go.
Aparo.
Look at this. Okay, here's where Batman's underwater. There's a plane that's been sunk, and it's got like bombs on it that if you try to lift it up, it's going to explode or something like that. And so, but I don't think Batman knows that yet. So he's down there and he's fighting off these bad guys, and then all of a sudden, look at it, the killer whale comes and takes out one of the bad guys, and then it busts open the net, and then he's going to bust open the window and get the people out, and all of a
With
sudden,
a rock?
yeah, he's gonna bust the window with a rock. So then he grabs his hand, yeah, and then boom, there he is. Look at him, Aquaman. He just like freaking just grabs him, tears off that rebreather, and drags him over to the submarine.
Look at
Throws him
Batman
in there.
that second panel. Holy shit, man!
Yeah,
that is terror.
Look, these are. I mean, Aparo had a bit of Neil Adams in him, but this is his best period of time. Those early 70s stuff.
Yeah,
early
70s
stuff. Oh,
yeah. I thought he was a better storyteller, and he set up a scene better.
Yeah.
It always felt like more like it was grounded and rooted in some kind of reality. I think Neil was better at the super fantastic.
Look at the water. Wait, look at that page with the water. It almost looks like a freaking photograph. The way it fades out towards the back.
That's really nice.
And he lettered all his own stuff. That's all his lettering.
Yeah, he inked it everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I love his lettering.
Captain,
that's incredible.
It's a miracle.
That seems to me that would take the lettering would take all day.
I know, right?
I know the guys that are good at it, it's like their handwriting. But like I look at it and I go, yeah, I'd fuck that H up. Like,
it's funny, Graham, because I didn't realize he'd done it. But if you look at his stuff during this period of time, all the lettering in his stories look the same because he lettered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is the same lettering as in the Adventure, the Spectre series.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Look at that shot where he's. I'm sorry.
Look at those
waves. Look at that. Look at the motion line where he's coming out and he circles around and he's coming up this way. I love that action line.
Yeah. And the little bat skiff that's dragging him through there. That's yeah.
So great. Look at that captain, that dude there with the shadows on him. That's so great.
If you want to go back and buy some of these early Batmans he worked on. These
I know. I was just at a convention Sunday.
I've got all those, Aaron.
This was last week.
Aaron, I have them all too.
I actually do.
I do too. Yeah, I mean they're all. I got them when they first came out.
Yeah, me too.
My collection is really DC poor. I mean, I've got some Neil Adams stuff, and then I got the Spectre stuff that Aparo did on Adventure Comics.
Nick Cardy.
This is Nick Cardy.
Yes, Nick.
Oh, look at that face.
Teen Titans. Yeah, Nick Cardy doing Teen. They're. Did he must have done that? What issue was it in Brave and the Bold where Batman and the Teen Titans teamed up? That was Cardy, I think, wasn't it? I know the cover was.
Could be. It seemed like that would be the fit.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a Nick Cardy fan and did not know it. This stuff is so good.
Hey, Aaron, was that cover the one where there's like Batman's being buried or something, or there's like this ghost image of the Teen Titans or something? Is that the one that you're talking about?
No, he's like holding them up like
oh my god.
What was that? It was like
I had that Action Comics right there.
The Shadow.
Oh, yeah,
that's a Nick Cardy cover.
He did
Rima.
some great.
Who the hell is Rima? The Jungle Girl?
Rima?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Man,
I think Hubert did the layouts for it, and then didn't one of the Filipinos do the finishes?
Redondos. I think it was.
This is.
There's only like 6 of them. I've got them all. Those are great.
Yeah, they're beautiful books.
Yeah.
This is creepy looking.
Yeah.
The Midnight Hour or Witching Hour.
It's one of those Filipino guys.
Those guys know how to do light.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're great at it. But yeah, check out the Rima stuff, dude. That stuff is great.
Never even heard of it. I'm gonna have to look it up.
You're gonna have to check it out, man. I'm gonna preempt you for a second, Dan. Here's that's what I was talking about, Art. Was this one?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh, that's Neil Adams on the inside.
What
Are
is?
you
Oh, that's
sure?
Brave and the Bold '83.
I'm almost positive that's Neil on the inside.
That's Irv Novak cover.
that's
Yeah.
that's not Neil.
No, but
That's
the
Cardi,
inside.
isn't it? Isn't that Cardi cover?
No, that's Irv Novak.
Oh, it's Nerva. Okay, yeah. Do you have it up,
Yeah.
Dan?
Which one? The '83
Brave and the
one?
Bold
The one that
screen?
you just.
Yeah, do you
Yeah. Hold
What-
on a second.
Who did the interiors?
I'm trying to find it real quick. That was number 83.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
It was right there in that run of Neil Adams.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Great cover. That looks
Yep,
like
it
Neil.
is. So how about that? I forgot
Yep.
that he did the interiors.
Oh,
on
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he inked it too. Yeah. Bob Haney wrote it.
Yeah, I love these colors, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're just they're so good.
And you get back to Neil's funky storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring some of that stuff back for the CG racers.
Yeah, we gotta have the loop.
Look at that car. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
I
Speedy
love that.
before he got high on smack.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's relaxing there.
Freaking
So you can
druggy.
tell he's a bored teenager. You can tell he's ripe
Yeah.
for it. You know?
Hey man,
And
I'm
he's a
jonesing
pro.
for some smack. I need some horse.
Look at that. Bruce scares Dick there. Just trying to read a book.
On
Get
poetry.
your feet off the table.
Alfred's
Sure.
like, uh-oh.
Oh, this looks a little sus.
That's why he started doing drugs. That was his picture.
Maybe Bruce Wayne was the Diddy of his time, you know?
Wait a minute, that
Oh,
was Bruce Wayne?
Mhm.
yeah, that's Bruce.
That was a really wonky looking Bruce Wayne.
Very
Very evil.
creepy.
He looks like
Very
he's a groomer.
Yeah.
He's a groomer.
Bruce the groomer.
Oh, that's a great face.
That's what I remember from the issue.
That's when he's
Looking
reaching
through
for the drugs.
The
That's
bookshelf.
almost I could see Simonson in this.
How
You know?
dare you.
Oh,
I'm sure, Neil had to be an influence to all those guys coming up in the 70s.
Oh, no doubt.
I love the lighting on Speedy.
I mean,
and that
Jim
bird.
told me that,
Good
they were
flash.
all influenced by what Neil was doing with the character. But I mean, Jim brought to the table the Milton Caniff school because he was a fan of that too. So,
Yeah.
he brought that Scorchy Smith
Oh yeah.
feel, type of shadows to his work.
Yeah. Well, we could go down this rabbit hole forever, but we're going to
Oh
wrap.
my gosh, yes.
Wrap this show up. But let's go around the horn here. Everybody's campaigns, even Billy's, is linked in the description of this video. So, guys, let's go ahead and do a little salesmanship. Andy, what have you got?
Share the screen.
I will.
Of course, it is Cordrat the Awakening. We have unlocked officially the first stretch goal, the Vordoom playable character card. Thank you all for backing it and making that happen. Really appreciate it. Short and sweet. If you're fans of Conan, Game of Thrones, high adventure fantasy stories, Dungeons and Dragons, you will like Cordrat the Reckoning. We have added the next stretch goal, and we have listened when Dennis and I do our live streams and we talk about it. People ask, and they would like the cover art that Dan Lawless and Bart did to be a print. So the next stretch goal at 60,000 will be a print of the cover art by Bart Sears and Dan Lawless. So definitely, guys, if you haven't yet, go check it out. We're cruising on it, and I'm starting on page 27. So it is moving along nicely. My colorist is about 5 pages behind me. In fact, I got to get him more. So go check that out. And then yesterday and today, I was working on the print copy, or not the print, the PDFs to send to the printer of the children's book. So all the art is done. I've put together the children's book, the adult version of the book, the activity book I worked on today. So this campaign will be up for a little bit longer, but we need to get it to the printer so we can ship it in time for Christmas. Nice 24-page, kid-friendly story. Core Drath has to venture on a quest to get the gift to get the best gift ever for his love, Adriana. And of course, in the adult version, he takes matters into his own hands when it comes to the woodland creatures, and he dispatches them with blood and guts. That is the adult
Don't
version.
take Cordrath's cookie is the moral of the story here, folks.
Exactly. He made those cookies were made for him, not for a stupid bear.
Right.
But there's 2 versions, so get all 3, and then when your kid is old enough, you can hand them down the adult version. So there you go, guys. Thank you.
Okay, the
much.
link for both of Andy's campaigns is in the description, so you can back both.
Those are going to be hyper rare.
Easily.
Yeah.
And probably only available afterwards at shows, right?
Shows on my website. Yep. Or the website.
Somebody-
Yep.
It won't be rare if 2,000 people go and back it tonight.
That's right.
Or do that. That'll work.
Hold
too.
on a second. My son's saying goodnight to me.
All right, Graham, we'll skip to you.
All righty. Joe
There you go.
Frankenstein 3, The Eye of Ra is up. We're in demand. Pages are coming in from Anthony, and they look amazing. This is his cover. We also have my cover here. And this is going to be like the other 2 books, high octane action, adventure, and fun. But that's up there right now. But what I want to show you, if you can make me go big, Aaron.
Oh.
Hey, Aaron, make Graham big.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Island books are in, guys.
Woo!
They look freaking amazing. Here's the framed edition. You can see the really great
Nice.
Spot UV.
Holy smokes, man.
Has the blue Monster Island Compass Comics logo.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, well, here's the original Monster Island.
I like
with the wraparound cover.
Yeah.
Really cool. And then the frame version of that has 2
Wow.
as well.
Open it up. Let's see some of those color pages.
Well, these are the black and whites. This is
Well,
the
that's
black
fine.
and white,
Let's see that.
the original.
Oh, yeah. That is great.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
But what I want to show you in the Monster Island one was, okay, here's the color pages for that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. But then you get the extra, which was a stretch goal story. Kirby Cigar.
Oh,
yes.
Stan
All right,
and
don't
Jack,
show any more. No
yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, that's
Oh, hey
Yeah.
now.
Son of a
And
bitch.
Sunshine State goes to
Heck yeah.
Monster Island.
Oh my gosh,
Nice.
look at all those extras.
Yeah. Lots of great stuff. So everybody who backed this, thank you so much. As I said, the books are in. We will be fulfilling earlier than promised. We said September, but it's August, and we'll be fulfilling. I just signed all the CGC books, packed them up. They're going out in the mail tomorrow. Julie's finishing all the goodie bags, and she will start shipping either by the end of this week or by Monday. Books will start going out the door.
Excellent.
Nice.
You can back Graham's Joe Frankenstein 3. Link is in the description of this video. Dan, what have you got?
Black Flag, working away on it. I feel bad promoting it all this time when I just need to get it out, get the book done. So working on Black Flag. If you haven't bought a copy yet, buy a copy. Coming your way. Take a look at the artwork that's up and stay tuned for more.
All right.
It'll be worth the wait, people.
Yep. We've seen
Oh,
some
yeah.
pages.
Yeah. It looks freaking amazing.
Thank you.
Email me and I'll tell you spoilers.
No. Art to Bear is the only one who really knows everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. You don't remember talking to me at that convention then.
I might have been drunk. What up, comic book? I might have been drunk. That's yeah.
All right, Art, tell us.
Well, here we go. Here's the video.
Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff 2 is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist, Art T-Bear. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T-Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T-Bear's oodles of doodles and other stuff too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Yes, back it now. Thank you guys so much for getting me to 12,354. We got 86 backers. We only have 17 days left. So we do need to get a move on here. So here's the cover right here. It is a 60-page 9x12 hardbound. So it is a gorgeous looking book. This is the second printing. So this will have a lot of new pages in it, such as these two here with CG art, some pop culture stuff, Captain Kirk, Gigantor, got some of my early 90s stuff. We got Cable. This is a reimagining of the 90s version. I got some creator-owned IP hit, and Billy Tucci being represented on the Professionals. So we got a double page working.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Yes, happy birthday,
right.
Billy.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, and as a stretch goal, we're going to add 4 new pages at 14K. So we are stone's throw away from 14K. So if you guys want 4 new pages, this is some of the artwork that'll be featured. We got some Garbage Man. I don't know who created that, but we got Garbage Man, and we got some Cable and some Vamp Perilla.
You draw them better than I do. I'm gonna have to put you on my next Garbage Man book.
Well, just like with Billy, if you want, did I send you the high res?
Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, because I was going to use it as a trading card or something in the next campaign. So.
Yeah, if you want, you can use it for whatever you want. So yeah, you guys, this is the book, Oodles of Doodles, The Reason for the Season. Click on that link that's in the description. Come by, grab a copy. And the book, I'm going to come back here. And if you could share the screen here. The book is done, you guys. This is the original version that came out a few years ago. The new one that we're funding right now will have a bunch of new pages in it. So it will be the same, but uniquely different. And especially if we can add those four stretch goal pages, this will be a new version of this book. Also, since the files are already compiled, all I have to do is add a few more pages and things to them. This book is just about ready for print. So we got the printer lined up. Everything's a go. So we should be able to get this printed up and done and out to you before Christmas. So if you're worried about that, this book will be shipping before Christmas. So thank you guys for helping out and backing and supporting. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Art. I've got real quickly, Kit Carter closed out Sunday night. We had a huge closeout. Thank you guys very much for those of you that contributed to the campaign. I appreciate it very much. Those files went to the printer today. So the book, I don't have the print date yet, but hopefully we'll have one here in the next couple of days. And of course, through the updates, I will let you know when to expect that. The interesting thing is I have all the extra stuff in-house right now. All I have to wait for is the actual book, but all the extra stuff is done. And if I may take a moment here, like this is the Kit Carter sketchbook. It's
I sure hope I backed that.
I know I did.
I won't. I know Andy's going to get mad if I show the insides because he wants to be surprised.
Nah, go ahead.
There's the title page there.
Nice.
And we'll give you that. And then we'll call it good. But there's full color in here. There's pencil drawings. There's ink drawings. There's a variety of different
I have an ash can with that piece of artwork on the cover.
She's a lot of fun to draw.
That's what it originally was for. But this is 8.5 by 11, the same size as the actual book will be. So we got a hardcover and a soft cover coming out. And I did print extras on those, and I have a couple movie posters left that didn't get picked up. So all that stuff, after the campaign is fulfilled, all that stuff will be on my website at a slightly higher price, but it'll be available if you missed out. And also, I do have Wraith of God 3 Fear Hollow. The sign up is now active, and the links in the description of this video. So there you go.
Great name, Aaron. Fear
So,
Hollow.
Aaron, is that an Overstreet price guide on your desk there?
Yeah.
Are you looking up the prices of books?
I was looking up. I was looking up that He-Man book, but this is the Kaluta shadow cover from this year.
Oh,
now, I did the. Well, see, now we're going to go down to the rabbit hole real quickly, though. I did the cover for the big book, which is the easy reader for us old guys.
Yeah.
So look how thick that thing is.
Oh my Lord!
Wow.
I got a question.
It's almost 900 pages.
I got a question about those price guides, because I remember as a kid they would put out like 1, maybe 2 a year, and that kind of like set the tone. But with comic prices being as dynamic as they are now, don't you have like an app or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't really use the price guide except for to get an idea sometimes on Golden Age stuff, because Golden Age doesn't move that much.
No. Okay.
So you have to kind of, and it does give you an idea of stuff, like a ballpark idea of where maybe you should be, because there's so much fluctuation right now. It's kind of nice to have a median price that you can kind of look back on and say, okay, it needs to be in this area. But yeah, they've actually done a lot of stuff online. I think I've had JC Vaughn on a couple of times on my show talking about how they're doing, something that an app that people can go and use that'll give you more up-to-date information. But the tradition of the book still continues on. Yeah,
there's something that I got. I think it's called Key Collector, Key something. Let's see, Key.
Yeah, but doesn't that just
go collect
with the key?
I got Go Collect. There's CGC Analysis. Or CG, or what's it called? Something like that.
Man, I remember as a kid, the worst thing I ever did was I got one of those price guides somehow. And so you just spend hours as a kid looking up your collection, just going, oh my gosh, like I'm sitting on a gold mine. It was like I'm going to be rich.
This is worth $3.
I know, exactly. I paid 20 cents for it. It's worth $3.
Yeah, so in some of those Brave and the Bolds we were looking at, right? Like I'm on that key collector site right now. What was that one that was 80? Was it
86?
75 was the one with the Spectre with the big old hand, right?
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it gives you.
Yeah,
I can't see it. What is it?
Yeah, sorry. It says low 12, mid 40, high 120, and then graded pricing, which is a beta. It's a pricing thing based on the graded stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, while it doesn't have everything in here, it has a lot, like the key stuff.
Yeah, I keep track on apps because their sales go up and down so much right now, especially with the economy sucking. A lot of books are tanking, so you want to make sure you don't overpay for stuff. But that's a subject for another show. Stippling Vaughn wants to know how much is Wraith of God. It'll be $25. It's going to be Wraith of God 3 will be 60 some page story, and there's going to be a 10 to 12 page backup story by David Williams in there. So it'll end up being a 70 some page book. So it's worth the money.
Now, my thought with that question was, how much is it worth? Because you were looking at the price guide when he asked it. Now, I could be wrong.
Priceless, baby. Right. Priceless, especially those Keown covers.
Yep. And something to look forward to real cool as parting shot is CG Racers. We're going to do some die cut or die cast metal Hot Wheel type cars. And those are going to be very, very cool. Something to look forward to. I just got my artwork out to the designer today, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes back. So keep your ear tuned for updates on how that progresses.
Yep. I want to say real quickly that we're all usually we rotate, but next week we'll be rotating right back to me because we have the return of the game show. The quiz show will be next week, and hopefully everybody will be in attendance so Billy can get outraged when I nitpick him on his answers.
So also the reason Billy didn't show up is because he's doing some studying right now.
I think so.
Birthday studying.
So yeah. Well, Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us here doing the Professionals. We couldn't do the show without you. We had a great audience today. You guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Helps the channels on all of our channels grow. And have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you right back here next week for the Professionals. Good night, everybody.
Good night.